Hello, friends. Before we get started with today's episode, we would like to acknowledge, for those who are not aware, Australia just suffered a devastating tragedy. Over on the East Coast in Bondi Beach, we had a mass shooting. I believe 16 people are confirmed killed, with many more injured in hospital. At this point, at the point of recording, information is still being released regarding the attack, but we do know that 2 attackers opened fire on a Hanukkah event happening at Bondi. Given the nature of our podcast, we won't be commenting too much on this, as it would frankly be in bad taste, but we did just want to share a moment's silence with you all listeners to hold in our hearts the victims and their families in these troubled times. Thank you for that. Please hold your families close in these troubled times and remember to treat everyone with kindness and respect. Now back to the episode.
Hello, friends. Thank you for joining us. My name is Joel.
And this is the O2 Drop.
You are listening to your favorite made-for-adults Pokemon VGC podcast, coming from Perth, the home of a cancelled regional, but some of my favourite people. Chris.
Well, some of them are not my favourite people at the moment after a particularly dicey subscriber game of Mafia, but yes, I'm here once again carrying the podcast.
So people like to tell you. I also have Mark in the house of Mark.
Yeah, and I'm glad to be here, and I love all of our subscribers, especially after we all enjoy a friendly game of Mafia together.
Yeah.
Nothing brings us together like pointing fingers and accusing each other of being bad.
Hey, I died early, so I was more than happy to not have to deal with the rest of the game. But you can hear more about that in our subscription episode, and if you want to get involved with that sort of thing, well, then we'll shamelessly plug that at the end.
We will. We'll endeavour to only do it once.
Good one.
For a change.
Subscribe for only $3 a month. There's your first one. There'll be more to come.
That's your first one. But no, we are joined by a very special guest today on our last recording for 2025. We are joined by the 2018 World Champion for Seniors in VGC and runner-up for 2025 Masters VGC, Mr. James Evans.
Yellow. Thank you for having me, guys. I appreciate it. Fashionably late, it seems. I don't know if we're allowed to bring it up because we were supposed to do this last week and I overslept, but I really appreciate you guys having me on. I would say it's great to show up, even if a week late.
Well, thank you for getting out of bed for us this week. I would say, like, we've had some pretty big players on the podcast before. We've had like Justin Tang, Joseph Agade, Gabriel Agade, like Brady Smith. Like, we had some huge names, and like this, James, you are by far, like, looking at your record, the best player we've ever had on the podcast. So it is our honor to have you on.
I'm flattered. Thank you.
Also, if any of your more successul mates want to be on the podcast, let us know.
Yeah, if you can get anyone better, let us know.
Any like Masters World Champions.
I can hook you up. Hey, I know a few of those guys. Don't worry.
I'm hoping to like leech some talent and skill off you, like for like osmosis or something, like over the next couple of hours. I'm hoping to get good just from talking to you.
Honestly, I always worry that I sound like an insane person when I talk about Pokemon. I was just like, I want to make sure that like I say things that kind of sound correct, because like the way I phrase them, I always worry that like other people are like, yeah, that sounds good, and in their head they're like, how did this dude do anything? He just sounds insane.
If you sound insane, you've definitely found the right podcast.
Yeah, welcome to the Nut House.
Yeah, Chris will claim to be part of your team building team.
Absolutely.
By the end of this episode.
Absolutely. I expect a team building chat invite by the end of the podcast for sure.
Oh my god.
Now, most of our listeners would know you for your runner-up result at the 2025 World Championship. But we like to bring it down to a more personal level, get to know the players, how they get started in Pokemon, and everything like that. So we'll start with our first question, which is actually a surprise subscriber question. We would love to know, what is your favorite song on the My Chemical Romance album, The Black Parade?
Oh god, now you gotta get me to Google that. Because I've definitely listened to this album before, but it's not like a thing that I peruse daily.
Have to go back and remember what songs are actually on it.
Yeah.
I love that James says peruse.
Oh, shit, like,
I love the word peruse. More people should use this word. I use it all the time too.
Gotta get fancy words in there.
Yeah.
Is the album called The Black Parade and the song is Welcome to the Black Parade, or is it the other way around?
No, you had it right, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah. The song is called Welcome to. I mean, I like that song a lot. I'm trying to remember if I remember any of these other songs go, because I was gonna say Welcome to the Black Parade is like a fairly frequent song in like my family's car.
I was going to say, to be fair, the only other one I remember is Teenagers.
The other one.
Well, you don't have a favorite song, then that's fine. We can just say no favorite.
There's a fun fact about Welcome to the Black Parade.
I clicked on cancer on the Google search, and it just linked me like what is actually cancer, like as in the disease.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's just not the song, so I can't remember. So I guess Welcome to the Black Parade is my answer, but I'm just gonna check real quick.
You're like, what else is here?
I was not expecting to answer this morning.
So you weren't expecting this very specific question about a specific album on this Pokemon podcast? I don't know what kind of questions you were prepping for.
Wait, do you see the rest of the questions?
You just threw me a curveball at the very beginning.
Look, the only other one I ever remember is Teenagers.
I do remember. I remember Cancer for some reason. I don't know why this song was like the one I remembered, but I do remember this one. I don't think it's as good as Welcome to the Black Parade, though. I feel like it's like that one's iconic. But like, I feel like that's like a lame answer to give because that's literally like the song's album, or like what is it? The album song. I don't know.
Look, it's an answer. And
it's certainly the most common answer we get because a lot lot of people haven't actually listened to the album and they just know that song is on it because it's in the title.
Album.
Yeah.
Look, Hobbit had no idea either, so it's all good. Look,
I say I'll go with Cancer because that makes it actually sound like I've listened to the album before.
Nice.
Although I will say, Welcome to the Black Parade is a very good karaoke song that I do use.
I agree with that.
Pretty abundantly when I go out karaoke with friends at regionals.
Nice.
That sounds like a sick after party. Honestly, I've contemplating us doing karaoke before.
We need to get onto it one time.
But now I'm a big name caster. I have to be preserving my voice for the Sunday.
You do. Okay, on to Pokemon.
See, I would say it's actually optimal for me to go.
On to the Pokemon part of the Pokemon podcast. How did you first get introduced to Pokemon as a franchise as a whole, James?
Oh my god! Honestly, there's not a lot I actually remember from being like I would probably say like 4 to 5 years old. Obviously, granted, now it's been like 17 years. Funnily enough, this is one of the things that like literally, it's like core memory stuff. Excuse me. It's one of those things that like I can literally tell you like I want to say it just starts with being a kid with unsupervised internet access. Like a lot of it. Like my family had a computer. I was on that shit 24/7. Like when I was very young, I got into video games at like a very, very young age. I think I got a DS for my 4th birthday.
Damn.
Nice.
With Mario Kart DS, and unfortunately, I was very addicted to that thing very quickly. Like it was very hard for me to put down video games, or just like anything in general, electronic. Like it was just very cool to me. So obviously, being a child with unsupervised internet access, you find YouTube very quickly.
Yes.
I just remember like just seeing Let's Plays very early on because like I would say this was still when like the Let's Player was like really, really big. I feel like just in general, like the Let's Player YouTube channels and stuff like that. I still follow a lot of them that I did when I was a kid. But like I remember seeing like a Leroy, I think it's Leroy, his playthrough of like Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I saw a few other ones And I was like, what is this? Like, this is the coolest thing ever. Like all these little creature dudes. And I remember seeing Charizard. I say it's a very shallow and very like simple answer, but I saw Charizard. I was like, this is the coolest guy ever.
Hell yeah.
I want to use this guy. And then at some point, I don't remember when or where, but I also saw the anime as well, which was like, I would say that's a very easy gateway for a lot of people to be like, oh yeah, I got into Pokemon because I saw the anime. But that was how it worked, like Saturday morning cartoons, and having like the Indigo League on like Comcast or whatever, like on demand, that I could watch back. So like that, I would say at a very young age, I was like, okay, I've seen a lot of this Pokemon stuff. I really want a game. Like, Dad, Mom, can I please get like a copy of like Pokemon Fire Red?
Nice.
So, like enough nagging about it. I got it, and I leveled up my Charizard and didn't know how to level up a proper party of Pokemon. And I sucked at it, and it was awesome.
The best first experience of Pokemon, to be honest.
That's how I got into it. Yes. I would say it was that, and like I got a few other games. I don't actually, funnily enough, remember what exactly is my first Pokemon game. It's either Fire Red or Ruby. It's one of the two. I'm not. I would say it might even be Diamond. I'm not actually 110% sure. It's one of those three.
All of those.
I got them
entries.
all around a very similar time. I would say Diamond, I have a lot of fond memories with, and then going back to like look at it in 2025, because I did that like a while back, and I was like, oh, this is rough. But it was one of my first games. First game I ever properly beat with like an actual team of 6 Pokemon. First game I ever got a shiny in. I hold all 3 of them very dear to my heart. They're all great games that I still love to. On the occasion, like I don't go back to play Ruby and Diamond that much. I'll usually just play like their sister game counterparts. I think they're called sister games, like the third games.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
But I go back and play Fire Red all the time. So love them all to death. Ever since then, I've kind of just been like a big super fan.
Nice. So what I'm hearing is I'm on the right path, giving my 6-year-old unsupervised access to the internet so that I can.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Maybe not now.
The internet when we were kids compared to the internet now. Your poor kid is going to see a beheading video before he turns 10.
I saw mine at 10, so you know.
That explains so much about you.
You should ask your son what's his favorite subreddit.
Oh, God.
I should.
Oh, God.
If he could read.
I think
having my 4-year-old son ask me, what does kitchen cell mean? Like, ask your mother.
So how did those games then turn into VGC? How did the introduction to competitive Pokemon happen?
I would say this is always like one of the funny things I love bringing up is like I didn't know that competitive Pokemon was like a thing at all. Like I would say I was like a massive super fan in like middle school, like early grade school. I would say never shut up about it. I got a little bullied for it just because I was such a geek, but
Hype.
I would say don't regret it. But I would say one day my dad, I think he just comes home and he's like, yo, did you know there's like a Pokemon World Championship? And it was a completely foreign concept to me. I didn't even know people played this stuff competitively. And I just go like, no, I didn't know that was a thing. And he goes, yeah, there's like a world championship in Washington, D.C., and we have family that lives very close to the venue. Back then, I think my aunt and uncle lived about 20 minutes from the venue.
That's pretty good.
So he just asked me, he's like, do you want to get tickets and do you want to go? And I said, yeah, like that's awesome. So we went. So 2014 Worlds was my first ever like exposure to competitive. Couldn't have been arguably a more critical time to ever get invested in the game. Because I remember going around the whole venue, watching the tournament. I had no clue what was happening, how these guys were even doing it. But obviously, seeing Sage and Park win Worlds in real time, like seated, watching the finals,
Hell yeah.
was a particularly mind-blowing experience that I would say still hasn't left me. I remember screaming like a literal 11-year-old kid when I saw the Pachirisu because I was like, wow, this is insane. Like everyone else is saying it's insane, so I don't know if this is good or not, but like that's like a tiny ass rat. Like no one uses that guy. Even I know that. Like I was like, everyone says he sucks on YouTube. So I was that whole experience just I would say permanently kind of scarred my brain forever, good or bad. I would say you can kind of call it. I was just like, anyone can really win at this. It seems like they have younger divisions, like you can play. And it seems like even in Masters, like crazy stuff can happen. So I told myself, I was like, I don't know how, but I'm gonna get into this. I remember coming home after that event and like starting to try and learn how to do things like EV train, with like the super training and X and Y and stuff like that. I remember getting like the mystery gift events that they had there. I think it was like a pincer and a Heracross, if I'm not mistaken. I just remember everything about the event, like everything surrounding it. I hold it very dear to my heart as well. And then I remember also coming back home after the event, like I mentioned, grueling EV training, and then proceeding to EV train in a Azumarill in like 60 in every stat instead of like the actual stats that you're supposed to train it in.
No, that seems pretty good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say a lot of trial and error before I found my way. But I would say that's kind of, I would say the rest is history after that. But I would say it took me a minute to figure things out. But
Actually, I was going to say that
I went to 2015 World.
you made your Azumarill like Game Freak made early Megas.
Oh my god. I would say, who does it? I would say some of them. Some of the Pokemon I EV trained early on, I would say they might classify as like ZA Megas, or I'm sorry, we're on the Australian podcast, ZA Megas.
I appreciate you recognize the difference there.
But like, yeah, I'll acknowledge it. I won't say it in my house, but I'm on the podcast. I'm honored to be here. But I would say I also went to 2015 Worlds, and that one kind of stuck out a lot more in my head. And I would say this actually is fun because I get to connect my diamond playthrough that, like, I would say was very important to me, like, as a kid. It was like a coming of age thing, being able to beat the Elite Four with 6 proper Pokemon. But I would say watching Mark McQuillan win Worlds with a shiny Machamp, I like in my head that was like kind of the like, oh, I can be that guy because I had a shiny Machamp in my
Nice.
diamond playthrough. Like it was the first shiny, the first shiny I ever found was a shiny Machoke. I used that and beat the Elite Four. And I was like, what is that? I evolved into Machamp before him, beat the Elite Four. I would say like I hold Machamp very close to my heart in that regard because I was like, this is the first shiny I ever got, and now I get to say I saw another guy use that at Worlds and he won the whole damn thing. So I was like, that could be me. So I was like, those two events stick out a lot in my head, just as the two things that kind of gave me I would say it was like the spark and the drive to kind of start playing in 2016. I would say I didn't build well because I didn't have access to restricteds very easily. But I would say by the time Post Worlds ran around, I was ready.
Nice. And favorite Pokemon?
Oh, that's an easy one. Skiploom. It's always Skiploom.
Nice.
But I will say, when I was younger, it was Tapu Koko for like a considerable amount of time. I can't remember unironically a time where I would say the only other time I can think of where I had a favorite Pokemon that was not Koko or Skiploom was probably when I was just a kid, and it was Scrafty. Like Scrafty is still one of my favorite Pokemon. I would say that guy is garbage and competitive. I don't think it will ever be good ever again. But I do love Scrafty. Scrafty is just a Pokemon that I love on design, and that is like that's all it needed to sell me on. I remember when like Black and White was making the rounds, and I would say this is back when like games didn't have a global release. So Black and White released in Japan like a month or two before it came to the States, and it was, I would say, all the Let's Players had a copy anyways, because like I'm pretty sure Luroy had one, and that's how I saw it for the first time. I remember seeing Scraggy, and then it evolved into Scrafty, and I was like, I can't understand these Japanese characters, but this guy looks awesome. Like he's got pants.
Nice.
But I would say I remember like I leveled up a Scrafty to like 80 or something in Black and White. Played through the whole game with it, but I would say it was Koko. Like ever since I was a senior, and then Skiploom kind of took the mantle just randomly one day. I don't really know how this Pokemon became associated with me, but I don't regret it at all. I love it to death.
Love that. Love when there's something a little less known associated.
Bit less of a mainstream pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I'm glad. I got to kind of be the quote unquote progenitor. I don't mean to flex, but like I would say I feel like Skiploom has become a lot more noticed in the past few years. I would say simply because like other players started picking up the plushie. just to use like in their profile shots at events. And so every time I see like someone take a photo with the skip bloom, I'm like, oh my goodness, the other people are doing it. Like, you know who else did that? Me.
Oh, goodness. I would love to dive into some results.
What about the favorite competitive Pokemon?
Yeah, I assume it's Coco, but we'll find out.
Favorite competitive Pokemon.
Favorite competitive Pokemon.
Favorite Pokemon to use competitively.
I would say in Gen 7, it was absolutely Coco. I would say I don't have one for Gen 8 that I can like. I would say probably in Gen 8, like probably just Groudon or something. Like I would say there's a. I would say Groudon is one of my favorite Pokemon still. But in Gen 9, I would probably say it's either probably Calyrex or Goldingo. Say that or Brute Bonnet, honestly. I really like Brute Bonnet in my time using it.
Yeah, Brute Bonnet's sick.
That was so much fun. It's just a cool Pokemon. Just has so much going on.
Can I ask James a really important question before you talk about results?
Sure.
James, if you guys say you're buying like a donut or like an ice bun or something, and there's like those multicolored little tiny flecks of stuff on top of the bun or the top of the donut, what would you call those?
Okay, so I have two things that I would call them. I either call them sprinkles or I call them jimmies.
Oh no!
The jimmies.
We had a fight on the podcast the other week about whether they're called jimmies or sprinkles, and in Australia they're called hundreds and thousands.
Or sprinkles.
Or sprinkles if you're lame.
What? I have never heard that in my life. I was one of my best friends is Australian. I was a very good Australian player. His name is Alfredo Che Gonzalez.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I've never heard him say that in my life. As a granted, we never really talk about sprinkles or jimmies. I've never heard that in my entire life.
A bit of Australian culture. So hundreds and thousands are specifically like the little circular, like little tiny balls of different colors. If like the ones that are more like little lines, we would call those sprinkles.
Yeah.
Yeah, like chocolate sprinkles.
Okay.
Yeah. So no Australian would call like regular sprinkles hundreds and thousands.
No, they're specifically the little balls of sugar.
For fairy bread.
The hard ones.
Yeah.
We use them to make fairy bread. I've seen people make fairy bread with sprinkles and it's fucked up and a crime against God.
It is.
And they're going to hell. All right, I'm glad we got that important question out of the way.
No,
it's also good to know that some people do call it jimmies because I thought we were like it was a piss take.
Yeah,
I thought
someone was taking
we
the piss
tried looking
on
it up and we couldn't, like every American we spoke to that is like, we've never heard anyone call them jimmies.
Really? I would say I grew up with them being called jimmies. Like I would say, like we called them sprinkles like every once in a while, but like in house we would just call them jimmies.
Is that like a regional thing? Like,
it must be like steamed hams. It's a regional dialect.
Like, are you in an area where everyone calls them jimmies?
So I say people will tell you it's unfortunate, but I live in the beautiful state of New Jersey, where everyone here is an undiagnosed psychopath. So maybe I can't be 100% sure, but growing up, like that's always what I would say. I've called them jimmies. Like, especially when I was younger, we called them jimmies. But like now, I would say probably just call them sprinkles. I don't know. It's been a long time since we've had like sprinkles in the house, like that are like being used in like vernacular. I guess I don't know how to describe it. Like I would say people make cookies with like sprinkles and jimmies in the house. I would say my mother literally just made cookies the other day with sprinkles on them. But I was like, I haven't heard anyone use the word in quite a bit.
Fair enough.
Yeah, honestly, same. This is not something you ever really have a conversation about.
No.
This is like, not really thinking about it. Like, I was not expecting this morning. Probably even more than the My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, so some of the subscriber questions are a bit off base. Yeah,
I fuck with them. I'm interested.
Your Liquipedia page is huge, James.
Too huge. We could go through everything in there, but I think just to prove the state of play you are, Liquipedia rates events as C through to S tier. So S tier are things like ICs, World Championships, and big online events. So in S tier alone, you have 5 top 64s, 3 top 32s, 1 top 16, 1 top 8, 1 runner-up at the 2025 World Championships, and then 2 first place.
including the 2022 North American IC, the 2018 European IC in seniors, and then your 2018 World Championship in seniors. Now, while we were going through your introductions to Pokemon, I was having a little snoop at the names that were in the 2018 World Championships in seniors. It feels like it was actually a pretty stacked year to try and compete. You had yourself.
Oh my God.
Simone Bernardi, Marco Silva, Victor Medina, and I forget who else I saw there that's still playing. Is it? Can't remember if Shota Yamada is still currently playing.
I don't believe so. I would say I know Oliver is. I would say that I will bring it to my deathbed. I will say 2018 seniors is the most stacked the division has ever been.
Ayumu Iwasaki was there as well.
Hindsight?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I would say, like, it's easier to say in hindsight because all these players have gone on to do incredible things. I would say, like, literally, I would say you can, I think you can just probably list off, like, I would say Marco, Torviv, Oliver, me. I'm trying to think. There's someone else.
Yeah, Victor Medina, Ayumu Iwasaki, and Noburu Matsura as well, I think, is still playing casually.
I would say it's just ridiculous how much talent is in that. What is it? I would say you want to know something funny? Giovanni Siski is also a 2018 senior. Like, I would say there are so many.
Oh, no way!
Just insanely broken players. Yeah, in that year, like in 2003. I just don't even know how. Like, I would say it's ridiculous. But I would say that Worlds was very stacked. I would say the number was fairly low. I think in day 2, there were like probably, I think 64 people. One of the smaller seniors Worlds, but I would say the amount of talent in that, I would say, like, just for perspective, like there were a bunch of players that weren't graduating that year as well. Like, I would say Zach Kelly still plays, Juan Salerno still plays, Alfredo still plays from like time to time with a massive asterisk. But like, I would say there were just so many players there that were like not just good, like fantastic.
Yeah, and these names are just names that we're taking from top 16.
Oh my God.
So
2018 was a good year. I picked.
Like, I would say,
yeah,
I would say it's a very, very stacked year. So I would say it's just like. Obviously, because like going into that Worlds, especially, like I didn't even think I was the best player in North America. I thought I was gonna do trash. Like I was not in a good headspace during that event. But I was like, thankfully it worked out. I was I'm glad that I get to be associated with so much good talent in that year. I would say that are still doing incredibly well.
What can you remember from that event? I mean, I know it's 7 years ago. I can't remember much like from 7 years ago. But
It's like the most what is the term for like good trauma called? I don't know. I don't remember it. It's like
core memory.
I guess I want to say so. Like, I don't know. I might be insane trying to think of a word here. Like what it is kind of like a core memory because it does define like so much of my post teenager like existence.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I literally remember basically the whole day like winding up to like I remember what I was doing like day 1 of the tournament because I had a day 2 invite. But I remember not obviously like the story I always tell is that like I didn't have the team that I was going to play at the event until 2 a.m. in the morning of day 2. And like this was back when you didn't have to like lock sheets or anything, like so it was like I literally remember being in my friend's, or not even my hotel room. It was my friend's hotel room, 30 minutes across the city from my hotel room. And my dad is like texting me on the phone. He's fucking pissed. I mean, like no hyperbole. He is fucking mad as hell that I am like up at 1:30, like halfway across the town. He's like, you were supposed to fucking compete tomorrow. Like, what are you doing? Like, lollygagging. Like, and I'm like on tears on the other end. I'm like, you just got to give me like 30 minutes because I just got 4-0'd on like by another senior on ladder. And like I was gonna bring some dog shit Zard-Y. I don't even use that lightly. Like, it was garbage. It was just like standard week 1 Zard-Y, and I was just like, I can't bring this. It loses to like David Kutesh's team, which swept day 1 at Worlds, and there were like 3 seniors bringing that shit. I could not bring that. Like, I remember I was just in this room pacing around. I was like crying, and like at this point there were like 8 other dudes in this hotel room, and it's like it was like literally the Avengers getting together, because like they were all just like, you should just run what you're good with. Like, and at that time it was just Mega Gardevoir. Like, I had my team from NAIC that like I had updated. Fortunately, like I had updated it after that event, and I left it to kind of just simmer. Like, I changed the spreads, I changed everything that needed to be updated. And I just kind of left it on the back burner because I was like, guard shit. No one's gonna play that at Worlds. And also, like, I'm the only one that plays it, so if I like people were gonna prep for it, they would just strictly counter team me. But fuck it, like, we're gonna run it anyways. Probably the best thing we did. Say we might run into a similar story very soon. But I remember that. I remember losing round 1, and I was so mad. And then some of my friends came up to me and just told me to like shake it off, because like it's just 1 round and it can't do much to you now. And like, the philosophy going in was just like, if you're thinking you're gonna go 0-3 drop, which I thought I was. I would rather do it with something that I have no regrets playing versus something that is clearly not the call and I don't feel good with, and I know is going to just suck ass.
I was going to say, crying in a hotel room at 2 a.m. trying to lock your team in with 8 other guys just sounds like our regular regionals. That's just basically every tournament for us.
Yeah.
It was really funny looking back on it, because like I was the youngest in our friend group by like a fairly wide margin in that room. So like it was just like all these like 17 to 18-year-olds just watching like this 15-year-old crash out, like just experiencing like ego death in real time. But
does your dad still have problems with you staying up late, given that what transpired in day 3 of that championship?
So yeah, I'll say it's one of the funniest things ever, because like I was like, never tell me I'm wrong on a call ever again, like, ever. Because I was like I got 30 minutes and I worked with 30 minutes. Like I'm gonna say he doesn't come with me to events anymore, but like that was an issue where I remember there would be some events where like I would essentially be out with friends like pretty late at night, and he's like, when the hell are you getting back to the room? I'm like, look, I gotta get shit done. Like like work is happening whether it wants to or not. Because if anyone knows me fairly well, I am a very last minute builder, and I would say, like, funnily enough, that Worlds is not even the first instance of that happening. But I would say I think it's only grown more in the last few years, like people getting to know me simply because it's like, how did you make your team? Yeah, I made it like the night before the event. And I would say it's doing pretty well for me, all things considered, and it will be like top cut at the regional. Not to flex in that way, but I would say like people have just mentioned that to me now, where it's like, well, how do you keep doing this? And I'm just like, I don't know. I make it stop.
It sounds very similar to our podcast's very own Chris Ma, who is become so famous for crashing out and changing his team last minute. We've dubbed it having a team crisis, which continues to happen.
I always say that I'm going to lock in a team like a month before the event and play it and get so comfortable with it. And then some piece of shit in the chat will be like, oh, someone told me the Easterners are bringing this, or like, oh, this player's bringing that. I'm like, fuck, I have no matchup into that. Panic, change the whole team. Like, I'm notorious.
Just to give some extra context, the Brisbane Regional Championships just happened, and I was in the Chris's hotel room helping him breed up a Cleavor for the match the following day.
Zero regrets I have no regrets. Cleavor carried so much weight. I had so many Volcarona matchups, and it was so good.
Yo, wait, actually, it kind of solos that dude.
Yeah.
Okay, I see the vision.
How did you go in Brisbane, Chris?
Oh my god, what is it?
I did. I got participation.
Was it even 5-5, or did you?
No,
I think that's 10
You got
rounds.
TCG packs.
Oh, sorry, 4-4 or
4-4. Yeah,
4-4,
I don't know. We're not going to talk about
Didn't
that.
go negative. Hell yeah.
We're here to talk about a good player's career.
That's more wins than I got, to be fair.
Well, you were casting.
I can talk about my bad stats. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, we need to humble you a bit. Yeah, you haven't got many.
Exactly.
You haven't got many bad stats. I was like with Joel, like Joel was on Liquipedia and a couple other places looking at your history. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ! I was like having to like try to tally how many top cut events, like even just looking at like top 8 or higher. It was like 5th EUIC 2023, NAIC champion 2022, Vancouver champion 2024. So you're like a multiple time like regional champion basically. You're the 13 other top 8 regional finishes.
Jesus.
It's fucking insane. But a couple of things stood out for me as well. In 2023, you were 7th place at San Diego Regionals with a Slush Rush team. I need you to talk me through this. Scarf Hydreigon, Assault Vest, the Titan, Sash, Abomasnow, Specs, Heat Rotom, Gothitelle, Wikiberry, and Paldean Taurus Aqua Breed Mirror Herb.
What the heck?
What the fuck is going on here?
This is one of my favorite teams I've ever made. Obviously, like, I don't know. Obviously, in more recent times, I think like I've grown accustomed to playing more standard things. Obviously, like even when I was a senior, I played a lot of standard stuff, even though it was like still a little bit off the radar, like Gardevoir. This is just like the freakiest fucking team I've ever made. Like I remember people coming up to me at the event and being like, "What is this? Like, what are we doing?" My initial philosophy in early Scarlet and Violet was like, I would say this was riding off of NAIC, like winning that and doing pretty well at like Worlds. It was my best Masters Worlds performance out of the 2 that I had done so far, and I was like pretty happy with like 39th, I think it was. So like the goal in general was just like, all right, keep it up, keep improving. And going into Scarlet and Violet, like it was the first time in a while that like I kind of figured like one of the things that I always take away from early format things is that everyone kind of plays like an idiot.
Yeah.
Like not derogatory, I mean, but like people just don't know what things do. We didn't even know what like fucking Dondozo did. We didn't know that like order up was a bug. We didn't. Like we just thought that was the way it worked. So like people don't know everything that's going to be available early on, and like because of that people kind of play like a lot more rigid, or they'll run a lot more like kooky shit. This is one of those instances where I kind of figured like I could play your diff off of just like knowing what certain pieces do more than the people that are going to be using them for the first time. Like especially something like Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat is one of my favorite Pokemon competitively. It's not that far removed from Tapu Koko in terms of like if you just slap a Choice Specs on it, you can just Volt Switch around like an asshole until you're ready to do actual damage. I was just like, okay, this is really good. I know how to use something like Gothitelle, whereas like some people are probably not used to playing against Shadow Tag yet, or like they won't be ready for what it kind of does in a non-Dynamax format, where like we saw Gothitelle fairly frequently throughout Gen 8, but it was kind of balls because it couldn't do anything into Dynamax Pokemon besides click Blind Hypnosis, and I was not that kind of player, so I was like, you know what, I actually finally get to use Gothitelle normally. And like I was fairly accustomed to using things like Sand at that point in Sun to kind of boost speed stats and kind of get an advantage. And like Snow was one of the things that like stood out to me very early on in Scarlet and Violet, because I was like, this is a little fucking nuts if you get it going. And like so Titan was kind of the poster boy early on for me, because I was like, it gets Slush Rush and its HP stat is insane. And if you give it Assault Vest, it has a good Spadef stat. And if you give it Snow, it has a good defense stat. And its attack's not bad either. So it has no objectively bad stat in the Snow if you just like keep it there. That was like kind of the philosophy early on. I was just like, this guy seems like a funny thing to use. Let's run him.
Nice.
The rest of the team kind of just fell into place from like process of elimination. Like Tauros was there to simply beat like Mouseape and Gambit and stuff. And like I don't even remember why Hydreigon was there. I remember just Bro was on there on the first build with the scarf and everything. Like this set did not change from day one for some reason.
This is perfect.
But it worked. It worked really well. Honestly, the whole team worked really well, all things considered. I went up against some like pretty heavy hitters in that tournament. I funnily enough remember it more. I remember bringing up the Satitan. The Abomasnow was kind of the MVP. But like Satitan didn't come to much. It did come to a lot of games, and like it came out like in clutch because it was so bulky. Like it just didn't die. The Abomasnow, on the other hand, kind of just froze everything and didn't give a shit. I cut that event simply because I hit a blind blizzard in sand and double froze the Tyranitar and the Terrasteel Hydreigon on the other end of the board. And it was like it was like 4v2, and I had Goth and Abomasnow, and I was like, how the hell did I win this? Like
Jesus.
I felt a little bad afterwards, but I was like, hey, Abomasnow gives and it doesn't take. So like, not complaining.
Well, yeah, it was a heat team. I just was fascinated by it. It sounds like you were just.
I think
insane.
I remember some people trying to cook Satitan here in early Scavvy. I know I definitely wanted to, but just was never able.
I think I'm trying. The name is missing me right now. There was someone that won with it early on in a Limitless tour, and that was what kind of set me on the path. I was like, oh, people, like, you can use this thing. Like, it works. Like, all right, cool, we're good to go. Like, because I would say, so Titan is one of my favorite Generation 9 Pokemon. I love the look of the guy. I used him in my in-game playthrough. Just a very silly big dude.
Yeah.
I would say any chance to get to use Pokemon I actually really like in game is always a fun time. And like I would say, this was kind of when I was trying to play a little off the wall still, in terms of like just running fun things, because I didn't feel like, so like I would say like down the like line, especially even 23, like I don't want to say like I started using more standard archetypes. It's kind of more like I accidentally built an archetype, because like I would say the only other team that comes to mind in 2023 is the Tailwind Golden Goat team. And like that kind of became like its own living organism by the end of Reg C. I just remember using it very early on, and then it kind of picked up steam. So like I don't even think that's like I would say it kind of just became standard by usage stats. But I would say like it definitely is to me like the weirdest team I've ever ran in an event and like done well with. But it's also one of my favorites, just simply because like I got to use the Titan, and that was a really cool fun thing to do. Especially because no one knew it was garbage yet. So like I got to get in a top cut with it before everyone realized like, oh, it kind of sucks and loses to Garganacl.
You can be now on one of those videos where like Wolfie will be like, 2 years, be like, the best ice type Pokemon. And then they'll be like, oh, Satitan hasn't got many results. And all of a sudden it'll flash up like James Evans's Satitan, result from
the
7th place finish.
Singular top cut stat. Yeah.
Nice. You're in the history books.
I'll take that one to my grave. Yeah, exactly.
I'm also want to give you a shout out for your 2024 Baltimore regional team, which got 22nd place. You bought Chandelure, which I thought was heat. No pun intended.
That team was fun. I played such a stacked schedule at that event, and I was like, I missed cut by my win in it, which was against Toller Webb, and like I played so many. I think I played literally both players that top scored that regional. I played Dawe and I played Toller. Some of the most stressful Pokemon I've ever played. Chandelure was really fun, but oh my god, never again. That team was fighting uphill so hard against like half the people I played. Like I played Kyle Livinghouse. My set against Dawe was like a living nightmare, because I got Tri-Attack frozen twice in a game that I won. Like it was game 3. I was losing my mind. Like I was going insane, because I did use Clefable at that event as well. And let me tell you, Clefable's not a good Pokemon. It's just not good. Like like it was like Chandelure kind of had aura. Clefable was like, oh my god, what are we doing? Never using that mon again. But it was very fun. I would say any excuse I get to use King Gambit and Rillaboom, Meadow Plate Rillaboom specifically, is always a good time.
I respect the Meadow Plate over the standard Assault Vest. I always think that's the cooler of the two Rillaboom sets.
I think it's so much more fun. You just get the whale on everything.
I'm starting to realize the difference between me and like good players, because whenever we interview these good players, I'm always like, oh, like this event from 7 years ago had like you bought this Pokemon, and there are all these players like, oh yeah, like round 3 I was versing this person and I got like the double freeze, and then like round 6 this happened, and I'm like, I don't know what I fucking did last regional. Like, I couldn't like
because you can't remember round 1 by the time you get to round 4. Like.
Yeah, Melbourne regionals this year, I couldn't tell you a single thing about it. So that's
look, I couldn't tell you what happened round 1 of I couldn't tell you what happened round 1 of Vegas regionals. Frankly, I don't know what happened there, but
Well, let's
it all worked out.
yeah, let's talk about Worlds 2025. It's kind of a big deal.
Worse.
It is a big Pokemon tournament.
We have had one take on this
One of them.
already previously from a previous guest who I believe helped James in preparation for the finals.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to get the whole narrative, but James, from an outsider looking in, I obviously wasn't there in the hotel room. I wasn't there on the ground, unfortunately, and not good enough to get invited. Long story, but from the outside looking in, and looking at Twitter, looking at like social media, everything, it looked like you were kind of the underdog from like a fan perspective. Everyone wanted Gio to win. He was like the fan favorite. He deserves the win. Everyone was rooting for him. There was a tweet of like a photo in the hotel. He had like 6 players like huddled around him on the bed, like all like, you know, basically strategizing against your team and trying to like help him win. And you are just kind of like all alone, being like, so how about that final tomorrow? Who's going to help me? Like that's the vibe I got.
Yeah, what do I do? It was a little bit of that. Like I had a lot of friends who basically congratulated me on making finals and then proceeded to help Gio with like,
Are they still friends?
like just straight up. Yeah, I'm still friends with them. Although like when we got to play in Swiss, it ain't my problem. Like, but I say it's one of those things I kind of just took on the shoulder. I would say it means a lot to some people to see Gio win, and I would say Gio's a good friend of mine. I would say I'm not mad about it at all. Although like early on, the people in my hotel room didn't want to help me out simply because like they didn't want to pick sides, and then I think they realized that everyone else in the group was picking sides, and they were like, all right, fuck it, just help out James because like he's already like 1 foot in the grave. It was one of those things that I didn't like I said, I didn't feel bothered by it too much because at the end of the day, Gio can get as much information as he wants from all of the players in the room, but at the end of the day, it's still on him to make the decisions and the calls that will win him the set. And obviously, he did get to explore a fair amount of avenues simply because he had those players to help him out. But I will like give Joe and Brady a ton of credit. They helped me with the line that I was playing to, like the entire set. Like leading Instant Amoonguss, Brute Bonnet, and having my 2 restricteds in the back. Like I did not think I was ever going to discover that line if it was not for those 2. And it was just like one of those things where it's like, it doesn't really matter. I would say, because like sometimes you might have too many cooks in the kitchen. And like that's a genuine thing because like then you're gonna start overthinking it. And again, it's down to both of us to decide what is the best course of action. Like what are we going to do? Because like, obviously, like I know we both discussed it. We didn't play any of the sets, like any of the practice sets. We just watched other people play our teams together to get a feel because we were like neither of us want to be clicking them buttons before we have to. Like I would say, we're just gonna watch other people do it. And it was just like one of those things. Again, I don't feel too bothered by it. Like I would say, like I think Gio, I would say he played fantastically in the finals, and I would say it was a long time coming for him to have a big win under his belt. I would say the underdog thing, like I didn't really think about too much because like it's one of those things where I'm like I am not used to myself being talked about, like even in a particularly like I would say like in like a terms of like James is a very good player kind of way. Like it's something that I try to not so much avoid, but like when I was younger, I actually tried to avoid that a fair amount. Like my dad and my parents in general would kind of go around and be like, "This is James. Our son's a world champion. He's very good at Pokemon." And like I would say, like God forbid, I will never tell my parents not to be proud of their son. But like it was one of those things. Like I was just trying to be like different, and like I was like, please stop telling people about me like that because like I don't really like it. But I would say like growing up, like it never really processed to me in any way that like I always say, like, I don't know how to describe it particularly, but it's like one of those things that I never really paid attention to how other people perceived me in a positive light, I should stress. In a negative light, I noticed that a lot. And like, that's kind of what sparked a lot of change over the past few years from being like, from going from like a kid to an adult.
Yeah.
Just mentality wise and mood wise, especially at events. I would say, like, if you see me at events, I used to be very reactive. These last few ones I've been particularly calm at. But I even remember after finals, I got a text from Juan Salerno, where he was like, "You are probably the best player that people don't talk about, like on average." Like, and it was kind of one of those things I had to think to myself. I'm like, do people even talk? Like, do people talk about me? Like, do people to begin with? Like, oh, James is such a good player. Like, I didn't really realize that. I was like, oh, like I didn't like because like going into finals, that wasn't like something that I was particularly where I was like, okay, Gio's got matchup, which is like tough, but like I wasn't particularly thinking about the stress of the crowd or how people perceived me. It was just like one of those things where I was like, I'm just fucking happy to be here. Frankly, it was one of those things that I couldn't have foreseen coming in a million years. No matter how much I told myself, like beforehand, like I told myself, especially to all my close friends who I can't thank enough for supporting me, especially in that moment. But like I remember being on voice call with like a few of them. I want to say some point after 2022 NAIC, and I was just like, I know there is another Worlds performance somewhere in me. Like I just don't know when it's gonna happen, but like when it does, you'll know when it happens. Like it's not going to just be like top 16. It's going to be like a deep fucking run. And it was one of those things that I don't think I ever particularly perceived of ever happening, if that makes any sense. I kind of knew in my gut that I had it in me, but I was like, I got there and I was like, oh, what do I do now? Like just a little bit.
Like, well, I mean, tell us what it was. Well, actually, I got two questions. First of all, seeing as you're on like a close texting relationship with Juan Salerno, is he a voodoo witch doctor? Just want to check that because he was casting spells.
No comment.
No comment? Okay, so still a question mark over that one.
Yeah, no comment yet.
What was it like? Obviously, this year for the first time it had like an arena set up. You're the first person we've spoken to that's actually sat on the stage in the arena with the big Titantron screen above you and the lit floor underneath you.
The Yu-Gi-Oh lights
the
going.
Yu-Gi-Oh lights going. What was it like being in the arena?
God, it was. I would say I still can't get over it. I think both you and I have talked about this together. We're like, we still can't process that even happened. But like, I remember when they called me out onto the stage, like, you know, they're like, all right, here's James Evans, and like they like did all the sparklers and stuff. I remember just kind of being in awe because they were like, all right, you can walk out now. And I was like, wait, me? Like, and they're like, yeah, you can do that now. And I was like, oh shit. Like, all right. So I walked out. And I would say you can kind of see me enamored on the stage. I'm pretty sure. Like I kind of do like a full 360, like looking at everything because I'm like, oh my God, this is so fucking cool. And I remember like when I get up to Anna, I tried really hard not to geek out because I was just like, outside I'm like, oh okay, I gotta calm down a little bit. But like inside I was like, oh my God, this is the ever. Like I'm part of this. Like it's me. Like I'm in the first stadium ever. Like oh my God. Like it was really hard not to just like completely geek out over. Like I tried to keep my composure in the actual like discussion part of it, but it was so cool. I was
gonna say if you could retcon your entrance with the sparklers with an entrance music like WWE style, like what would your entrance music theme song be to come out to stage at Worlds?
Oh crap.
You can think about it and get back to me.
Cancer from the Black Parade.
Let me think about that one.
All right, what were you going to say? Sorry.
It was just like because funny enough, like in the set, I didn't notice it at all. Like I didn't notice that like the ground was changing, like when Sun got set up and stuff like that. Like granted, it was a very important set, but it was one of those things where I was like, very focused in on the game, and like looking back at it, I was like, oh wow, there was like a lot going on. Like it was just really really cool. I was like, and again, like I should stress, like it was one of those things that I just never thought that would happen. Like to be a part of that moment. I didn't like. I literally, Gio and I both agreed. Like we didn't care who won for the most part. Like granted, like obviously there is a bit of care there, but like we both objectively were like we didn't expect to get this far. Like this is, we know at the end of the day, this is just like a set between friends, and whoever wins wins. And that's just Pokemon. So like we both knew like regardless of the outcome, we were going to be happy with it. So like we just kind of focused on playing the game. And I was like, again, it was just another set of Pokemon. Like I was saying, you probably asked if it was just like another day in the office, because we both were like, yeah, kind of just felt like no pressure, like just there to hang out kind of thing. Like we just played a set of Pokemon. But it's so surreal, like to look back on. I don't even know how to describe it. I apologize. I feel like I'm at a loss for words. And I'm running
I feel like that in environment, I would not be able to concentrate at all. I would see like one light change color in my peripheral and I'd be like, ooh.
You're so
Just-
autistically
God.
like triggered.
Yeah.
I was so nervous that like some offshoot light was just gonna like blast lens flares into my eyes because like that has happened at events before.
Fucking hell.
I was like, oh God, please not now. Like,
With you have like such a storied career of so many like big results at big events. Like, do you have like a standout memory like of all the tournaments you've been to? Like, what's your like favorite tournament memory?
oh my God, there's so many of them that like I would say my personal favorite in like recent time. I mean, besides Worlds, I would say like Worlds is like the obvious one, and like I would say like as I mentioned before, like the like 2018 the 2018 team was last minute. This team was like somehow even more last minute. Like I didn't even have like I had the comp, but I didn't have the Pokemon together, and like I think I locked the final team at like 3 a.m. in the morning the day of the event.
One of our subscribers asked, how do you approach tournaments? Do you prep weeks in advance, or are they just like, fuck it, I'm running this 2 hours before the deadline?
Oh God.
It sounds like you're a 2 hours before the
pretty much.
deadline kind of guy.
I would say this will actually go into what my answer is for like favorite like memory right now is EUIC this year. Top 16 day. It was an event that I went to like just on a complete fucking whim. Like it was kind of like I didn't get into EUIC registration in 2024. I kind of got like severely like manhandled out of that, like just by internet and poor luck. I would say fortunately it kind of bled into I booked Vancouver after that. Ended up winning that, so it all worked out in the end. This year, I was like, all right, time to go for some redemption. I get in, and I'm like, all right, well, I wasn't expecting to get in, but now, like, shit, I gotta play Regulation G. Like, it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I was already kind of like half tapped out, excuse me. And like, I didn't do really well in the first run of Regulation H. Besides like my top 32 at Baltimore. And it was kind of one of those things where I was like, I didn't really give a shit, but I was like, all right, well, you already registered for the event and booked the flight, so like nut up or shut up. Like either go or don't go. And I was gonna go because it was EUIC. I had a ton of my friends there. And like some of my friends I only get to see like once per year, including like my really good friend Matthias Long, Matadome, he goes by online. Obviously he builds everything with me, like we build together. Huge help. But so I was like, all right, well, I gotta go. Like there's no reason I shouldn't go. And I spent probably like the 2 months in advance, like leading up to EYC, just like trying to find a team. And like this is the best way I can describe like my building process. Is like I started out with Terapagos, like just playing standard Terapagos balance on the run back for Reg H because I was like I played Miraidon or not Reg H, Reg G, and I played Miraidon the first run back in Reg G or the first run in Reg G, and it was the most miserable experience I've ever had in my like 9 years of playing competitive Pokemon now. Just one of the worst Pokemon I've ever used in my life. Just horrible, unfun. Could not recommend to anyone.
You hear
so
that,
I was
Joel?
like very
Terapagos is
clearly
shit.
like quickly early on.
No, he's talking about Rhydon, I think.
Oh yeah, no, I found out very quickly Terapagos was also buns.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, like the first thing I took in the note taking was like, if I was ever going to play Terapagos at an event, just kill me and then replace it with the Calyrex Shadow Rider. like one of the two. You can do one of the two. So like very early, I was just getting in reps with like standard Terapagos, even if I knew it was kind of just ass. And then eventually at some point I swapped over to CSR. And I was like, wow, this is so much better. The issue, like, I played with like a shit ton of teams as well between. I played with some like Iron Crown, Koraidon garbage. I played with like Dondozo. Dondozo was actually my first like good event like of the year. I played Dondozo in the Global Challenge for like Terra Ground Earthquake.
Nice.
I caught so many Zama teams. It was so evil, but it was so much fun. And like it was the first team that actually made me feel like really good about myself in the season. I was like, oh, I actually had a good amount of fun with this. I didn't like I didn't stress myself. I just played games and enjoyed myself, and I got like a top 32 in the Global Challenge out of it. So I was like, very hard to complain. Shout outs to Joe for giving me that team, by the way. That actual sadist team, evil. But I was gonna say, like after that, I was like, all right, well, you know, you're like EUIC at this point is like 2 weeks away, and I've been sitting on my ass playing Pokemon Auto Chess instead. Like I need to actually like make a team now. Like I gotta find and make a team. So I kind of got on CSR. I could see the like pieces clicking, but I couldn't feel it out. So fast forward, it's now EUIC. Like it's the week of, fly in. Still don't have a team, by the way. You know, I'm just running around the whole city Wednesday, just fucking around like by myself. Go to sleep, wake up Thursday. Now, like, keep in mind, there's one day before the tournament now. So like I'm going around like, oh, I don't have a team yet. I should probably get on that. But oh wait, let's go like check in and get like all my swag and stuff. And oh wait, let's go get like lunch and dinner with all of my friends. And then I go back to the hotel room and we're like about to go out and get dinner with a bunch of people. I'm like, yeah, sure, give me a minute. I just fall asleep. Wake up at 2 a.m. in the morning. And now it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't really have a choice now. Like you got to make a team, dude, or you're like not going to be able to play tomorrow. But at this point, my friend Tanner, who I roomed with for EUIC, he is sleeping right next to me. And we are like in a, like, I want to say like maybe 10 foot wide, like 10 square foot, or like it was fucking tiny. It was not that large. So like, I'm like, okay, well, like I need to make a team. It's do or die now. Like I don't have a choice. I need to make a team. And I didn't want to be an asshole. I didn't want to be that guy. Cause like I'm sharing a bed with someone and I'm like, I'm not going to just bust out my laptop on like max brightness and just start like theory moning while this dude's trying to sleep. So the only other option is to go into the bathroom. So I drag my laptop, my Switch, my phone. I drag fucking everything into this. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like literally a rectangle. Like it's the shower and it's as wide as the shower. It's like the whole bathroom. So it's like basically like a linear 5 foot long like stretch of free space between the shower, the sink, and the toilet. So I literally prop myself up on the toilet. I text everyone that is not at UIC. I text my whole group. I'm like, or my whole friend group. I'm like, I need to build a team now or I am fucked. Like, what are we doing? And funnily enough, like I mentioned my friend Matthias. He links me a team, and he's not awake at this time, I should stress. He links me a team probably like 3 months ago that is Chaos Shadow, Cornerstone Ogerpon, Tornadus Urshifu, Amoonguss, and the last mon is escaping my brain right now. I don't remember. But it's that, Chien-Pao. It's those 6 Pokemon, and I'm like, it kind of looks like shit. I think it looks good. By the end of this enriching 2-hour-long team building experience in the bathroom, I just sure as shit ended up locking those 6 Pokemon. It wasn't even like the 6 that he sent me. It was that I literally just came, like, I came to the conclusion on my own that these were just the 6 Pokemon that I were going to end up running. And I just tell myself, I'm like, all right, well, I have a team now. I have 0 games of practice with it. I guess I'm just ready because I'm ready to either bomb or I'm either ready to just do okay. And then I wake up and go like 7-0.
Huge.
Nice.
And like just make day 2 no problem. I was like, all right, well, shit. Guess I'm in day 2. And then I call it like, oh, okay. I lost to Joe in a top 16 set, one of the top 16 sets ever. Shout out to Thunderwave. But I was very happy regardless. I was just like, how did I make this team at 4 a.m. in the bathroom and it still worked out? I still couldn't tell you. But that was like, that event, EUIC is always an important event to me because even when I'm not there, it seems to always work out or teach me something valuable. And this year it was very much just like, enjoy yourself at the events that you're going to, because I realized like very early on, I was like, all the Reg G events or all the Reg H events and all the Reg G events subsequently before that, I was stressing about performance and how I was going to play that weekend. And just things out of my control in general, like things that I was stressing about way too much that I really shouldn't have been. And one of the very valuable things I learned from that EYC, especially just, balling up with a team that I made basically 5 hours before the event started, was like, stop worrying about how you're going to play and just start playing. Like just play the game. Cause more often than not, it'll work out better than you think it will. I think personally that might be give or take for some people. I know some people in my friend group are like, you're chock full of shit. That's just not how it works. But I'm like, hey, it works for me. But I would say it was just one of those events that I had so much fun, playing in the actual event. I had a great result. And I got to meet a lot of new people for the first time. So I would say that kind of turned into a whole Yap Fest, but favorite memory for sure in recent time is definitely that whole escapade.
The fact that you can function at a tournament after being up at 4 a.m. is crazy to me, because I would be dead.
Dude, I was thinking to myself, like, actually, because like I probably went to sleep. I tried to sleep for an hour or so, because like by the time I finished the team, it was like 5:30, and I was like, well, we don't need to be up for a while, so like I just kind of sat in the bed and like just rested my eyes. And like while I was like doing that, I kind of just thought to myself, I'm like, actually, this kind of works out for me because everyone else is going to be like tired and like barely kind of trying to hold themselves awake. But like by then, I'll be like by the time the tournament starts, I'll have been up for like 6 hours at this point. Like I'll be awake, like I'll be ready to go.
I'm locked and loaded for round one.
I do think that. Yeah, exactly. I was like, I'm fucking ready. Like, and like I actually remember my round one. I had no idea what to do into the matchup, and then Ogerpon and Calyrex just proceeded to Astral Barrage and Cudgel crit through everything. And I was like, all right, cool, we're off to a good start this morning.
That's how you play the game.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like if I didn't know how to play the game, the team was ready to play the game for me.
Shit, yeah.
This kind of ties into like with your like sleep hygiene. This ties into a couple other things that we often ask top players to try and learn how to become better players ourselves. What do you have for breakfast the mornings of these big events?
And why is it
I'm an
eggs?
insane person. I don't eat I don't eat anything. I'm a nut job like that. Ever since I was a kid, like for some reason I just don't like eating during tournaments. It's one of those things where like I'm very superstitious, funnily enough, like about Pokemon in general. Like I do specific things in specific orders. And if I don't have Fake Out slot in the first slot, I'm going to die. But it is one of those things where I don't eat oftentimes at tournaments just simply because like I think it kind of affects the way I'm looking at things. Granted, that might be a very large overreaction into superstition, but like I would say I've eaten before at events and like sometimes I just kind of drop off the face of the earth. So I try to not eat. Like generally on days of events, I don't feel the need to eat. Although that might just be like insane psychosis after like 9 years of conditioning myself not to eat at events. But I would say usually like after the day's done, I'll eat dinner and like get something to drink and stuff like that. I'll usually just drink water throughout the day. Like that's usually the most I do. Yeah. Or like some like Gatorade or like Pedialyte or something.
You're actually not alone there because Henry Rich, Hobbit, who we had on a couple of weeks ago.
Fellow American player.
No. He's still ours. Don't you dare. He was saying exactly the same thing. He says he doesn't eat through tournaments. And I have to say, I'm exactly the same as well. I don't eat breakfast and I don't eat during a tournament. And then everyone's all kind of wrapping up and they're standing around chatting. It's like, guys, can you hurry the fuck up? We're going to dinner right now.
Yeah, can we go get some food? Like,
I'm going to go
please,
eat 6
and not like the
courses.
same shitty restaurant that was like, yeah, exactly. I would say usually I just eat like 5 bites and I'm like, all right, I'm good. Let's go. Like, I'll take it back to the hotel and then I won't eat it for the rest of the day.
The other thing I wanted to know is, do you take notes during rounds? Like, do you have a notepad out, jotting stuff down? Are you like a no-note taker?
So when I started playing the game, my first regional ever, I took notes. My second regional, I did not, and then I just stopped taking them, like altogether. Like after that event, I was like, all right, well, I guess I didn't need those. I've tried to take notes before. Like I would say, one of the things that I tried actually doing in 2025, like early on in the format was like I kind of made like a season resolution to be like, all right, be more diligent, take more notes. Did not follow through on that, but I did start like paying. I generally try to pay attention to a lot of what's happening in the actual set. Like usually it's the kind of shallow philosophy of if it's important, I'll remember it. Which is not it's not exactly like an amazing thing to kind of go off of, but it was like enough for me to like I would say generally if there's something that I need to think about or need to pay attention to, I will kind of just pay attention to it because it's the only thing that's like on my mind right now if it's like during a set that I'm playing.
Yeah. I think Kieran kind of does the same thing because I think was it Melbourne or something? It might have been Melbourne. He showed us his notebook from the entire tournament, which he won. And he took like one note in round 8 or something, which was like their Flutter Mane faster. Yeah. And that was the only note he took for the entire tournament.
I've picked up, I seem to play better with no notes and I play better hungover. They're the things I've picked up on.
I agree with, I don't like taking notes generally just because I've noticed it's very disruptive when it comes to, I have to now divert my attention from the game, which I am actively playing, to now take notes about the game, which I am actively playing. And it'd be much easier if my attention was just solely focused on the game that I'm actually playing that requires me to win at. Because like the notes won't matter if I win. They only matter if I lose because then I have to share them with other people. Yeah. Well, I mean, you can share them anyways with other people, but it's like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I just would rather focus on the game at hand, and then anything that is vital to how my friend, like if my friends play them or if I play them again, like I should remember off the top of my head, because they're likely remembering it anyways as well if they won or lost, because they need to know what to adapt. What is it though? I will say the only thing I will take notes on regardless is Sucker Punch or Thunderclap mind games, generally with Encore in general, because I love Encore to death, but I love Sucker Punch as well. Sucker Punch and Thunderclap is like, if the game comes down to a position where I need to know specifically what they are, like how much they have left, I will literally flip over the opponent's team sheet. I give zero shits. I will flip over the opponent's team sheet, bust out a pen, and start tallying on the back of their sheet. Like how many have you used?
That's fair. I'd do the same thing.
Like I am not. Yeah, I was like, I'm not losing off this shit. Like I would say I would say thankfully I have never, like, knock on wood, I've never lost to that, but like I've never lost from miscounting. But I did like have a match in 2024 where like I think it was Knoxville, where I played up against a guy and it was like it was 1 HP Raging Bull versus 1 HP Fluttermane. And I essentially just called out that he was just gonna thunderclap 8 times in a row, and I was like, all right, better start counting and better start paying attention to the counting. And I was like, back then I didn't do the team sheet thing, so I was like, I pray to God when he says GG, he's not like super baiting me into believing that like he's got like 0 left, and like I would say there's actually 1 left in the tank. But thankfully there wasn't. But I was like, after that I was like, all right, I need to start paying attention to this shit.
Crazy mind games.
There needs to be like a concrete way. So I was like, that's the idea I formulated. I was like, I don't care. I'll just flip over the opponent's team sheet and start writing it. It's not like it's gonna affect too much on their end.
Should we smash out some some subscriber questions for our guest?
I believe so.
We've actually already answered the best worst team you've ever brought to the event. That was the Slush Rush, the Titan team. I think we've already nailed that one. Would you agree that's the best worst team you've brought to an event?
I want to say so. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, probably not that like immediately comes to mind. Although the team I brought to Brazil was like super wacky, but it was not good. So I would say
not the best,
it's just the worst team. Yeah, it's just the worst team.
Did you look at your Spotify Wrapped this year?
So I would say this is a joke. This is just a joke between friends at this point. But like, I actually don't have a Spotify. Like, I'll mention that every time people bring up their Spotify. I'm like, yeah, I actually don't have a Spotify. Nice. I did have a YouTube Wrapped, which was like basically all the songs that I listened to. So like that's technically my Spotify Wrapped. If
what was your number 1 song then?
I say if we're just, it was I don't know if you I've listened to like a fair amount of just like stuff. But like a lot of what came onto my radar this year was like Vocaloid and J-pop.
Nice, huge.
But like I listened to a lot of Jamie Page, which is like an artist that got really popular this year. And I think I want to say my first place song was Machine Love. It's just like a song that got really popular, especially at the beginning of the year. And I kind of never stopped listening to it. I would say if anyone knows who this artist is that like follows the podcast, I would say like you'll probably know. But I would say like I listened to a lot of that. I listened to a lot of just the album. I think it's called Constant Companions. I listened to a lot of that. And then like what is it? Out of like my top 5, there's just like one random ass Deltarune song, like from the Deltarune OST.
Fuck yeah.
I don't even know why it's there, but I really do like From Now On. It's a very good song. But I was like, I kind of eyeballed it, and I was like, oof, this is kind of like the kid that only listens to anime openings and video game OSTs, like ass like numbers. I was like, maybe I'll sort these out a little more. I listened to like a lot of stuff, and like that's what won this year.
Is any of those? I don't know much about Jamie Page, or whatever, or the Deltarune, whatever. But is any of this suitable for your entrance music for your world stage entrance song?
I don't know. I would say it's kind of like too anime. Although like obviously there's probably like a Deltarune song that matches like an entrance theme. I'd probably think of a few.
Okay, all right. So we're still spitballing.
I'd probably go with like, wait, what?
Still spitballing your entrance music then. That's fine. We can come back
like
to
I'm trying to think. Like I was like, is it like a real song or like is it something goofy? Like I'm just literally like looking through my music.
Okay. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Ooh,
There is a correct answer.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go with yes, just because it's funnier.
Nice.
All right, yeah, okay. I think it's pretty it's a pretty popular yes question. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's only grown in popularity to say yes more like
I would say
more
so.
and
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
as the years go by.
This one, I feel like this question's I'm in danger of starting another yap fest from you, James, here. But what was your
God.
stance?
Oh, boy.
Well, yeah, I know. What was your stance on the whole Reg C versus Reg F debate that happened recently when Pokemon put out a poll? Are you happy with Reg F? Would you prefer Reg C? And then after that, can you elaborate what you think on like the stance of how the Scarlet Violet regulations have happened, like how they've handled them, repeating them? Do you want to see like this sort of same thing happening in Champions, that sort of thing?
So, as someone who I would say I got second in a regional in Reg F, I won a regional back to back. We have all fucked up horribly by letting this format become the last format.
Thank you, James.
Okay. We have messed up horrifically because I was like, I was fairly indifferent. I wanted Reg C to come back. I'll be blunt with you. I wanted Reg C to come back because I already to me, I had already accomplished everything that I wanted to do in Reg F, and I didn't really care too much about wanting to play it again because I kind of knew the state that it was left in. I was very lucky to have won with the team that I had won with in Vancouver. Like, people were asking me after that event, like, hey, can I have your team for UIC? Like, can I play this? And I was like, no. And it's not because like I wanted like to cling on to it. Like I was like, no, it's my baby. Like, I won with it. I was literally just telling people, I was like, don't run this. Like, you're gonna die. Like, it's not good. Like, you will play Bolt Balance and you will suddenly regret all of your choices bringing this team to So I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, I would actually really like Reg C to come back because I got second at a regional in Reg C. One of my favorite teams of the entire generation was in Reg C. It was like the Garchomp Talonflame Golden Goat team that I had used for the entirety of the format. And I would say that team is kind of like Second Instinct. Like I would say, like, I can literally play that team probably with a blindfold on. Not that it requires much critical thinking. You just click Tailwind and Terra Steel, make it rain. But
Nice.
it was one of those teams that like I just really liked, and it was one of those teams that kind of helped me understand how to play off, like, not so much. I mean, it kind of is hyper offense, but like it taught me how to play offense a lot more in a way that restrains yourself to like actually having options like Iron Hands, where like you have Fake Out, you have a good Wallmon, or like Terraflying on Pal, where it's like we're not trying to buy time with like Terra Ghost to just kind of weave in more attacks, although Flying kind of does a similar thing where it's like I get to Earthquake next to my Garchomp now, or next to my Chien-Pao now, and like kind of just click Ice Spinner, and like that auto wins several matchups. So like I was like, oh, I'm really forward to, I really want to use this team again. I want to get the run back with it. I want to be able to kind of take a win with it, because I think out of all the teams that I've used, this one kind of got snubbed the most in terms of I think it really deserved a win. All the teams that I've used. So I was like, okay, great. I would really love to go back to this. Nope, Reg F1. So I'm like, okay, well, now I have to figure out how to play this, because Gouging Fire is kind of unsustainable. And also, oh my god, there are so many Pokemon that are like, Reg F is somehow worse than Reg G and I combined in terms of like speed order, where it's like there are Booster Energy Fluttermanes in Scarf or Shifu's like next to a Tornadus. What are we doing? Like, oh my god. It is so, oh sorry, my alarm went off and like birds were chirping, so I don't know if that like went through the mic, but it was like one of those things, like coming back to, I was like, oh my god, what is this format? Like I think I tweeted it out, there are at least like probably 10 to 15 S tier Pokemon, I would argue, and none of them slot together on a team that is actually better than, like, I would argue a B, like a grade like that's like B or like higher. Like, it is insane. I would say you can just like put 6 Pokemon together and it will be really good until it runs into something that is really bad. And this is, I would say, I should stress that I do like this format. It's one of my favorites that we've had in the generation of Scarlet and Violet. And I say in a non-biased way, I promise. But obviously, Reg F reminds me the most of 2018. It is the closest format we've gotten to 2018 since that format. So naturally, I kind of gravitate towards it a lot. And one of the biggest issues that I had with 2018, which give or take, I would say depends on how you feel about it. One of the biggest issues with that format was that you just statistically could not prep for everything that you were expected to face and win. You were bound to run into a bad match. And granted, that's every format. You're bound to have a bad matchup that you will likely, if you run into in tournament, just lose. Here, I don't think it's never been as polarizing. Where it's like there are certain Pokemon that will just simply outclass your entire 6. And I would say Raging Bolt is an amazing example of said Pokemon. Like we're like my team from Vancouver, it has answers to beat it, but it cannot consistently beat it, is a good way to put it, when it is like saddled next to both Pow and Urshifu and like 2 balance guys and like also some random like 6 asshole that decides to do damage. Like it is just very difficult. So I would say, obviously, I might just be biased because I was like, oh, I already had a good team, and especially compared to the other 2 runbacks where Reg H and Reg G, I kind of sucked at the beginning of them, and then on the runback, I found something that I was much more comfortable with. I'm kind of now playing from the opposite position where I had something I was very comfortable with that is now unsustainable, and now I need to figure out again, how to enjoy myself in this format, which granted, that always takes time. But I will say, like, I was much more excited to go back to Reg C, especially because Terra Stellar was going to be a new addition. So the format would have been actually different. Like, I think of like, it would, so there would have been things to have done that were different.
There would have been new moves as well that weren't previously accessible in Reg C, right? Like move tutors.
Yeah, as long as they decided not to roll it all the way back to what Reg C was.
Which would have been such a ball ache to try to like police and navigate.
I mean, it would have been a new regulation effectively.
Yeah, I think that's probably why they rolled it back to Reg F though, because they didn't want to accidentally like fuck up. If anything was like the way it was in Reg C, I think like that's likely because I'm pretty sure Reg C won more, like it objectively won more numbers in the polls that mattered, but I think Reg F technically like won more polls by smaller margins. But like it was just one of those things where I was like, I would have really preferred to have played that, especially because Reg C already kind of got snubbed out of the Worlds in 2023. And I was very critical of that when it happened, because I basically lost all motivation to play in Worlds.
Yeah, those early
on top of the event
were
not being particularly fun.
Pushed so fast.
And I do think, and I've discussed this on a couple other podcasts. I think I discussed this on Oko, with like Sierra and Joe Brown. I am not a particular fan of the format length. I think just the way it was handled in Scarlet and Violet might have been a bit too presumptuous with timing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
The way it seems to have played out, and I would say this is just like kind of crackpot theorying now. It does heavily seem like Pokemon Champions was supposed to release earlier than intended.
Yep.
Yes. I think that post-Worlds, we were likely supposed to flip over to Champions. Yeah. But that has not happened because of obvious reasons.
This is why I think that Reg F is not going to be the last regulation for Scavvy. I think in April...
I'm so scared.
I think in April we're going to go back to Regulation I.
Don't even put it out there, Joel. Jesus.
Stop it. And then NAIC might...
Look, I can't run that World's team back. It was a one-hit wonder. I can't do that shit again.
NAIC might be on Champions. Is where I'm at with everything right now. Like the only thing that they've said is that Worlds is definitely going to be on Champions, but
Worlds is on it.
We really need another event prior to
beforehand
to make sure that Worlds actually functions. Yeah, and the only one before Worlds is NAIC.
I would argue just in general, like I thought even the Reg H run back was fairly fine. Like I enjoyed my time with it, but it definitely did really feel like we were supposed to like flip over to Champions. If not now, we were supposed to probably go on hiatus and like the game probably would have been out by now at least. Like Scarlet and Violet probably would have continued with Regulation H until I would assume December or something, and then they would have just made the jump over to champions and said, hey, you're just playing on this now, starting in January, because that gives us a very similar pattern to what previous games in the series have done, where it's generally you'll play the game out until the end of the actual year, and then you will all jump ship and go to the next game. Yeah. And like January, start new format, go. This is the first time that I believe we will ever have a game that we jump to mid-season. Correct me if I'm wrong. Sure
I'm so ready for it though.
It'll definitely be the first time mid-year. Because, I think like you say, in like November, December, January is kind of where we seem to have flipped in the past. But they're telling us that we're going to do Reg F until the end of March. Yeah. So like, I hope that we're all playing champions in April. But
please,
small indie developer, it might be Reg I again.
I'm holding out hope.
They spent all their money on the sparklers at Worlds, so...
Oh, you're right. Yeah, they did tell me behind stage, like, yeah, this is like $6 million out of my
This is where all the budget went.
Yeah, you're like we need you to walk faster, bro. Like, I will say, like, holding my grievances against Game Freak aside for Scarlet and Violet and like the expansion, I would say I do think that just the pacing of the formats could be better. Yeah. I am of a personal opinion that I like longer formats, and I would say I grew up playing like a lot of formats that lasted a long time. 2017 lasted a full-blown year.
Mm-hmm.
And I generally think that more meta development is better. I think on the runbacks of both formats that we've had so far, they've turned out better than they did at the start, like where we left them off at the halfway point.
Yep.
I think just in general, giving more time for metas to develop is more valuable to the players, and you'll see higher skill expression at the top tables. Granted, you don't want to make people fucking tired of it, though. I remember like Ultra Series went on for way too long, and by the end of it, like for the last 2 months, people were just running UNEC and like Primal Groudon, Psy-Spam, and like you just ran like a different kind of like flavor of the week shitmon on the end, like either Selgor or Jumpluff or like something like, and people were just tired of it. People were tired, and like by then it was like a whole console jump. We just wanted to jump the Sword and Shield, which is crazy in hindsight. But it was, I do think, like, I mentioned it on Oka. I was like, I think the average format should roughly last about 5 to 6 months. 6 months is generally a good kind of frame of reference because, shocker, 2018 was 6 months long and that format worked out perfectly. But it's one of those things that I would say these run-back formats get about 6 months anyways to develop, like in terms of the first half and the second half. So I think overall it would kind of be in their best interest to give every format that they play 6 months, just simply because I think we'll get a full-blown like spectrum of like things become standard, then there's the new standard, and then we start to see kind of the development of players thinking outside the box, and then by the end of the format we'll have something that is a little more diverse and interesting. That's what I hope, at least going into Champions, because I believe Scarlet and Violet kind of fumbled the ball with how they timed everything. Like, again, I mentioned Reg C kind of getting snubbed out of that Worlds, where like we would have had a kind of perfect incrementation on the formats where we went from regional decks to regional decks with paradoxes to full-blown regional decks where ruins are like available and everything. And then for Worlds, we got somewhat national deck. What the fuck? Like, what happened? Like, why did we make that jump? And like, again, it was a whole different ball game. Like, it wasn't just the same Pokemon that were good. It was like, oh, hi, Urshifu's here now. That ruins like subsequently like several Pokemon in the format that were kind of meta staples. Have fun. It was just one of those things that I could not get behind, like at all. And I do think that it's kind of inadvertently also affected the scheduling of every single format past it. Like, we barely played Reg D. I would say I didn't like Reg E, so I guess it was kind of good that it didn't stick around for too long. But like, just in general, it's kind of made the pacing of every format a little difficult to nail. And I should stress, like, I think the formats that play out before Worlds are the toughest. Just simply because, like, Reg D didn't have any events to go off of, but Reg G and Reg I have thankfully had some events to let their meta develop, but it's still a very short amount of time, and most of that is downtime between NAIC and Worlds. So while, like, online events get hosted, there's still a lot of discrepancy between what you will actually see between the two events. I do think in the case of Reg I, like very thankfully, there were a lot of meta teams that stayed meta between both, like the gap between NAIC and Worlds, but that's not always the case. Like we saw with Reg I, a lot of standard teams that became standard were only standard after NAIC. Like a lot of things picked up between the two like events, and that is something that you cannot consistently like land. Like I would say, both formats were different when it came to how they were played at Worlds. I think in that regard, like I would appreciate having a lot of time before Worlds to play a format and get comfortable with it, which I don't think is unfortunately going to happen with Champions. I think we're going to kind of have a similar thing where it starts in April, as like aforementioned, and then we're going to play it till Worlds, and then we're probably going to get a new format after that, which I'm not going to be personally a fan. Like I would like to see things play out a little longer. That's just always the player I've been. I think, again, there is just more potential to be had in a longer format and something that is not ostensibly long. Like I think, again, I mentioned Ultra Series kind of dragged on for a long time. I know people wanted Sun and Moon like 2017 to end a long time before it. I would say like after EYC, people were kind of just tapped out and done. And I think it's just one of those things where I would say, granted, I think they went a little too in on the short span of formats because like I think they really wanted to try it out again after Sword and Shield because COVID happened and we didn't really get to experiment with it a whole lot. And the only format we did get to experiment with was 6 months long because it was Series 12 and we just played it the whole year that we had it.
I love it how you're saying that
most shocking.
I love how you say like Reg F, the second time round, it's more time to develop an innovation and stuff. And then we've got it's mid-December, people are just running around with the Utrecht, Articuno, like Specs, Terra Ice team still.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kieran and Dim at the World Cup running Articuno.
Oh, I saw that with the Dozo.
That was cool.
All right.
You go.
Okay, my bad. Sorry. But I do think like I wish Champions arrived a little sooner, just because I would say I'm in a much different position than a lot of other people. I'm very fortunate to say like, oh, I already have my Worlds invite. I don't have to worry about it. So like I really get to pick and choose what I get to play this season. And I would say I've actually discussed this with Gio too. Like we both were like, we kind of get to not go to the things that we don't really care about. But obviously, coming off of such strong performances at Worlds, we want to be active. We want to play. Like we want to, not be rusty by the next time we got to like show up in Worlds Finals and do this again. But it's like one of those things where it's really hard when, especially the format is comprised of 2/3 a run back. Like I would say, like we played Reg H and Gio skipped out on Reg H for the most part. He played at LAIC, and now we're kind of flipping places where it's like he's playing Reg F, and I really don't want to play Reg F. So I'll probably play in like one event of it. And like most of that is deciding, a format, or it's deciding Worlds for a game that we're not even playing on, which is a little lame. It's not even like I think it's bad. It works out just fine. I just think it's a little lame. Pokemon Champions loses a little bit of its narrative in the process of the transfer, simply because like the game it's not out yet. And I would say like that blows, because as a Pokemon player, as someone who just loves playing the games casually, I love seeing where everything goes. I love seeing the storylines that the game allows. And obviously there will still be storylines this year. I just imagine they will be a lot less effective simply because there is a giant generational difference between obviously we're basically jumping to Gen 10 at this point.
Yeah.
With all these new megas and a whole new format and a whole new regional decks, probably like everything's going to be new.
When you say
essentially everything will be jump started in April. Sorry.
When you say you like to play in the game casually, something I wanted to ask you was like, do you play like locals, like just local events in your area? I know you obviously travel to big events, and you probably play a lot online. But I've just noticed that since Worlds, the last few months, where they've been running back regulations that we've already had, there's a little bit of people are fed up with Scarlet Violet. We're waiting for Champions to come out. People are playing ZA as a distraction. Have you noticed, like, do you go to locals, and have you noticed a drop off in attendance in your area?
I haven't gone to a local since pre-Worlds, just simply because I have my invite. So generally I would say now that I have like a co-op and stuff for school, like I try to kind of cleave through that on the weekends. And I would say if I do get the chance, I will probably go to some locals in Reg F, but like in Reg H, I kind of just was like, I was like, I don't want to play Reg H. So like, I'll just not go to locals. Yeah. I would imagine there's probably some dip. There's probably just people that are not interested in playing formats that are not related to champions. Granted, I already have my invite, so like again, it's very different for me. I get to pick and choose what I get to go to.
Yeah.
So I would say, I would imagine for a lot of people, like they still go to locals. I would imagine like a lot of my locals still go to locals. Like I discuss fairly frequently with them. Shout out to all my NJ locals. They're all really nice people. And I would say, I'm sorry, like I feel like, I think I mentioned at one point, I was like, I'm not going to like any of the locals. And like, bro, why are you skipping out on us? And I was like, no, it's nothing personal. It's just like, I just don't want to go.
Regate,
like,
man.
yeah, exactly. I was like, look, I already got my invite. I gotta let my homies get theirs.
Yeah.
But I could gatekeep. I mean, if they want me to, I will happily go and knock a few heads. But I would say it's just one of those things where I'm like, I would say, unless I'm trying to figure out something, and generally the teams that I've been playing recently have been more so like just play a few games, and if I'm feeling them, then I'm feeling them, and if not, then just like, all right, look for something else. I would say I don't really need a whole lot of like quote unquote prep time to figure. I would say like it's a run back. I'm just trying to enjoy myself. I'm not really trying to go for like, I would say I say deep runs, but then I ended up like cutting Pittsburgh and Vegas with a team that I literally locked simply because it looked fun. But I would say like that is my current philosophy where I'm like, I just want to play for fun.
Yeah.
Simply because like these are not formats that I'm not particularly looking to like do anything with. Like obviously I'm not too interested by them. They're not doing anything for me. They're not clicking, and like I already have my invite, so like I am kind of just on the champions hibernation like wait, which like kind of blows me. But I imagine like there are also people that don't have their invites that are doing that regardless because they just want to play something new. Like they're burned out.
Speaking of the champions hype train, so we know we're getting Megas back, right? This is another question we ask our guests as well. Yeah. Quickly, can you tell us your favorite Mega Pokemon, a Pokemon you would like to see get a Mega, and a Mega evolution that you'd like to go retcon and change in some way?
I mean, I would say my obvious answer to the Mega, like favorite Mega, is probably Gardevoir because obviously, shocker, I won Worlds with it. It means a lot to me. Like just that, I would say that is. I would say Gardevoir was already one of my favorite Pokemon as a kid because it was like the first rare Pokemon I encountered. Like I mentioned playing Pokemon Ruby, and like Ralts was the first like rare guy you really get. So like I spent a while like hunting a Ralts, and I just used Gardevoir on my in-game team. So it was like really cool to bring like a childhood Pokemon like all the way to the win.
Yeah.
So like I would say as much as I think the design is kind of a little lame, I do hold it very personally in my heart. Like it is just one of those Pokemon that like I love a lot, and it helped me a lot as a kid, to get through a quote unquote rough time, 2:30 in the hotel room type thing. But it is one of those Pokemon that like I will hold fondly to my heart for all of time, simply because it won me Worlds. But I would say I'm gonna go to the Pokemon I would probably patch up. Because like I'm just looking at the Mega list right now, and like these are all like just Pokemon from 2018 and stuff. I'm trying to think like off the top of my head like which one I would probably. I mean, the obvious one I think is probably Garchomp. They did this dude so bad in just the original run of Mega Garchomp. This guy, he has so many stats and then he loses speed, so it's just completely pointless. It just does nothing. His ability sucks. I think it would have worked even if if you just gave it a better ability. Sandforce is not good on this guy. It's just completely useless. If it just kept like rough skin or it got like something like tough claws, like it would have been a lot better.
I'm just sick and tired of them doing like mixed attacker. Like they're like, we've got to give him 100 stat buff.
My God.
Let's just give like 30 in both offenses for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, and then the rest in speed. No defensive buff.
You're gonna hate what they've done with the new Garchomp. Although, Jones, you'll probably be happy with the news.
It looks cool.
Yeah. So
I haven't seen its design yet. I've only seen the stats.
The design looks pretty sick. We should quickly because they have.
He hasn't said what Pokemon he wants to get a Mega.
All right, we'll quickly do that, and then we'll see if it's on the list.
I mean, I would love. Obviously, now I'm literally just looking around my room at like the
Mega Ski
that I have. Like, I would say yes. I would say I would love if I would say Mega Reuniclus or Mega Cetitan probably.
Nice.
I love
Sick,
Cetitan
okay.
a lot. Like I would say I would say Reuniclus is kind of the one that comes to my head more often than not, just because I think Reuniclus deserves an alternate form a lot more than like I would say some of the Pokemon we've gotten. Like I don't know why Mr. Mime gets a whole ass regional form in New Evolution when like I would say, funnily enough, I love the whole Reuniclus line. I bring a Duosion plush with me to events simply to keep the Skiploom company when
Nice.
I'm out.
Oh, that's cute.
That's really cool.
Like I leave it at the hotel to hang out with him like, as a little buddy.
What are you imagining? Like Toy Story style? They're just like talking and scheming while you're
A little
away.
bit.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, actually. By the way, I'm a 22-year-old grown ass man. Like, but it honestly, that's kind of how I view it. I would say they're just buds. They get along.
Nice.
Although now, I guess now the new travel companion is Lando. I would love to see Lando get a Mega. Honestly,
No.
just Lando.
Hell
not the other
yeah.
two.
No,
Man Lando or Dog Lando?
it's a tiger.
Probably Man Lando. Honestly, I would say Lando I has been putting in a lot of work for me recently, so I kind of that guy is kind of on the promotion bump.
Nice.
All right, now Mark, what were you going to say?
So we do want to, we don't have a heap of time left, but we do want to quickly talk about the new Megas as they have dropped them. So spoilers,
Yeah.
especially for the one that we've already dropped, so sorry about that. But the rest of them, for anyone listening, if you haven't, finished the DLC, you want to remain spoiler-free for any new Megas that have been released for the DLC of Pokemon Legends Z to A. You might want to turn off now.
Well, Joel will put timestamps, so we will,
I'll do my best.
listen after we've done the spoilers for the Megas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'll just quickly go through I've got typings if they've got any typing changes and stats. And we can talk about whether or not we think they'll be good in VGC. I've kind of created my own notes about what I think. And
How do you reckon they're going to handle Zed?
What do you mean?
So the
Red Mega.
Z Megas attack faster
Yeah.
in Z to A. How do you
Yeah,
reckon?
that's because I've got 151
Yeah.
base speed,
I think
Joel.
they'll just have the same. I think that'll be it'll just have good
I don't
As in,
think it'll be
like,
anything different.
Yeah, I think it would be the
animations
same
are
thing.
quicker. Like they burn through their Mega faster.
I'm aware
and
that
do
it is a mechanic in Z to A. I
Yeah.
don't think that's carrying over.
It's
to
a balance.
You don't think it'll do
It'll be
anything?
balanced by
Like,
abilities.
what do you think would happen?
I
It'll
think
be
it's gonna
balanced
do
by
anything.
abilities. Yeah.
I don't know. Probably some cracked abilities or something.
I mean,
Or some like
possibly.
abilities that like affect them both positively and negatively potentially.
Nah.
So I've kind of created a tier list. So
So you've already tiered them for us. Well, thanks, Mark.
I've got my own opinions, which
wrong
I made
opinions.
ahead of time. So the tiers that I've got, top tier, fuck nutty busted. I think these will be cracked. Then below that, we've got what would be A tier. So I've put very strong. Good Pokemon probably won't be on every team, but you can expect to see a lot of it. Below that, I've got good on certain teams. This is a Pokemon I think has potential. Maybe if you find the right pairing for it, it'll see some decent play. Onto that, I've got if it gets the right support. So this is, I don't think it's necessarily going to be bad, but it will need some better moves or a good ability or something else that we're not currently aware of.
Yeah.
Underneath that, I've got unlikely to see play. And then below that, reserved specifically for Scovillain, I've got the absolute dog shit tier.
What the fuck? Okay.
I like Scovillain a lot. They did it dirty with the
God,
Mega.
that dude is ass.
Whoa,
sucks so much.
Whoa,
Yeah, give him-
we invite
give him
you
a
on our
business suit.
podcast and you just come in here and slander Mega Scovillain
It sucks.
unprovoked.
The design is cool.
Look,
We're all mad
Look,
they gave it shit stats.
look, Game Freak already did it. Game Freak already slandered him enough, bro.
Yeah.
What did they do to my
Why do they hate that
I don't know why they made it yet another weak, frail.
Even the villain in his own story.
That's true. That's true. And his, I don't know, his chili necktie kind of looks like some
as
sort
hell.
of like weird genitals thing going on, like where it's poking out the front. I'm not a fan of that.
No,
but-
I like the design a lot. I just hate what they did with the stats.
Yeah.
It's his signature dongle.
To shorten your tiers, Mark, it was basically S through to F.
Yeah, S through F basically.
Okay.
But
S, A, B, C, D, F.
I think the if it gets the right support is an interesting one where it's like it could actually be quite good. We need to know more in order for it to be good.
All right.
Yeah.
So the first one we've got here, we've got Mega Garchomp Z, which obviously did get the speed buff that you, James, said it was sorely lacking in the original Mega. So the HP remaining the same at 108, 130 attack, 85 defense, 141 special attack, 85 special defense, and then 151 speed. Very good stats. They, for reasons that are completely unknown to, I assume, everyone except whoever made it, they took away its ground typing.
That's right. Pure
It
dragon.
makes me so mad because literally, if they just kept it dragon ground, it actually would. I actually think this would have been a good mega.
I think it would have been so
it makes
strong.
sense, exactly. I was like, you have Earth Power, you have Deep Pulse, you have Draco. Like this guy's gonna be a menace.
You could even,
Apparently, they knew better. They were like, yeah, fuck up his mega again. Do it again.
Well, and
they did it again.
You know what should be hilarious? They'll fucking give it high horsepower next gen too.
they will.
Just to troll us even further.
God, it will.
but I thought exactly the same thing.
Someone at Game Freak really hated this guy.
Not as much as they hate
It was like,
Flygon.
It was the same guy. I can guarantee it was the same prick at the Game Freak who did the first mega. They bring him back and it's like, all right, what am I going to do to it this time? And there's like, wow, those stats are really cool. You've designed it awesome. It's like, well, I'm taking away his ground typing. Fuck
Remove the
you.
ground type. Yeah.
Why is
Yeah, that's my payment. Take the ground type.
Why is he?
I'm taking the ground type in the
Why
divorce.
is he flying as well?
I mean, to be fair, that's congruous with his lore.
It's not even dragon flying then.
Because, like,
Yeah.
in the Pokedex, it says it soars through the sky.
Look,
so that part, I think, is fine.
I have used Garchomp a lot in You go.
So I'm just mad they keep nerfing these. Like, what is it? There's no reason Garchomp should lose its ground type, and yet Indeedee gets Moonblast for some reason. They just keep buffing it.
They gave him Moongus Dazzling Gleam. Why not?
More and more.
Why
not?
I've used Garchomp a lot in low power formats, like on like Reg 8, stuff like that. But like, I'm sorry, everyone. I'm not a fucking Gen 4 Cynthia simp. And I think Garchomp is overhyped in every possible way, and I don't care if it's dog shit.
Cool. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for your input.
I'll put it, what, B tier?
Nah,
I
back off the Platinum Goat.
I put it in...
I catch this guy on every playthrough. I don't even care if I'm a shill. I'm gonna get that Earthquake TM and run through the game.
Hell yeah. I thought I was doing my description for this. Like, this could actually be the first decent mixed attacker that we get. Because you run it like Draco Meteor, Earth Power, and then Earthquake. You've got the Earthquake with the spread damage and a move that you can spam after you've clicked Draco Meteor. And then I double checked and was like, wait, they took his ground typing away. Never mind, this guy's ass. So I put him if it gets the right support, like the speed, like 141 special attack, 151 speed. I think if they give it like a strong ability, like 151 speed might carry it. But at the moment, I can't see anything that it's doing apart from like the most beastly Draco Meteor in the game.
And also loses to boost Energy Flutter main at the end.
That too.
Oh yeah. I would say the only way I could see this working is that I would say I think legitimately its ability is going to be some crap like speed boost, but I think the actual correct idea is that I would say they can be playing us all for fools, and they did kind of like a Mega Aggron move where they took away the type simply to make it bulkier, and they will substitute the ground type with an ability that gives it ground stab again.
That would be cool.
Really funny. That would be really funny. But like, as a pure dragon is kind of technically better than dragon ground defensively. So maybe it is an actual buff and they just give it the ability to match. But until then, yeah, it's kind of it's kind of sweating a little bit because it's like, wow, I really need this ability or else I'm cooked.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one, from a type nerf to Mega Absol Z, which becomes the strongest typing in the game, in my opinion, with Dark Ghost. Mm-hmm. It's got maintains.
God!
Yeah. Oh yeah. Maintains at 65 hit points. Attack 154. Then 60 defense, 75 special attacks, 60 special defense, and then 151 speed again.
Another Edgelord pick from Gen 4.
I think like those are some strong offensive stats. That's a lot of attack. That's a lot of speed. And like I said, best defensive typing in the game. My concern is that like it doesn't really have a heap of coverage going for it unless they give it something in particular. Like the best dark type physical move is what? Crunch? I guess like it's going to be an awesome sucker punch.
Yeah.
It could get it could get another signature move or something.
Yeah.
Huge knockoffs.
Sucker Punch was what came to mind. Yeah, knockoff.
We could maybe expect sharpness for some decent night slashes, but even then, there's no sharpness boosted ghost type moves.
Yeah.
So they'd need to give it something particular there. So I guess that's what's holding this guy back a little bit, in my opinion.
They could give it Bitter Blade or something like that. Like, I don't know.
Which is a fire type move.
Yeah, I don't care. They can still give it to it. I think this is another Pokemon that loses to booster energy Flutter Mane again.
Yeah, I guess with the fairy weakness.
Yeah.
Very fragile, but it'll hit like a truck when it gets the opportunity.
Yeah, like I would say, it kind of seems like it's like a complete inversion on Gambit, where it kind of already has the typing it needs to get going. Like it's a nice defensive typing, but it's so frail. It's just gonna use it for pure offense.
Yeah.
Like I can see this being like a Swords Dance guy that you just like spam sucker with, and it already has the speed that it needs to kind of deal with everything else.
Yeah.
But those defensive stats are kind of holding it back. I think like Dark Ghost is a really good. It's a cool typing, but one of the things that it kind of snags on is that because it has so little in the realm of resistances outside of, I believe, just psychic and dark. No, not even dark. I think it's just psychic, fighting, and normal. Because those are its immunities.
It's got 3 immunities. It resists bug. It doesn't resist bug because darkness. It resists poison.
No, it doesn't resist bug. Poison.
Yeah, and then
Grass, I think.
No. Yeah, I think that might be it.
Lots of neutral hits.
Yes.
A lot of neutral.
I think it'll get Moxie.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, my outlook on a lot of Pokemon like this, where they have good, solid, well-rounded typings, is that generally that's kind of more of a curse than a blessing, simply because when nothing's super effective against you, everything is. Like you just have to now deal with everything hitting you for neutral.
When you've got that bulk or lack thereof, you're gonna be getting taken out by neutral hits.
Especially one dazzle and you're dead.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So I put this one once again, and if it gets the right support, I think a good ability or good enough coverage will actually, let's not sneeze at 151 speed.
It's a C tier.
But yeah, basically C tier. The other thing I've just put in my notes here is just like, would you run this over Chen Pao? Probably not.
No.
Moving on to the next one, we've got Mega Staraptor. Mega Staraptor.
Edgelord pick.
Love the design.
Yeah, the design is sick.
I love the design too.
They've changed the typing to Fighting Flying, keeping its HP of 85. Its attack stat is 140, which is very respectable. 100 defense, 60 special attack, 90 special defense, and 110 speed. So pretty good offensive stats, although 110 speed is certainly not what it used to be, especially when you're looking at Mons coming in with 151. So it can be interesting to see if that really matters. The biggest thing I noted about Mega Staraptor is it's got Intimidate, so you can Intimidate and then Mega into another ability. And depending on what ability the Mega gets, if it's maintaining one of the abilities it's already got, it's either going to Intimidate again, which is very funny, and can be good, or alternatively Reckless on 140 base attack stat would be insane for Brave Birds and Double Edges.
Now fuck it, give it Gale Wings.
Oh god.
Stab Brave Birds at 140
I'm all right with
attack. Let's do it.
Yeah, just launch one out. One.
We've got fucking Mega Zygarde with 200 and something special attack. We might as well just get silly with everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly, I never looked at this guy's stats until now. Like, this is actually fairly well rounded.
Yeah, it's semi-bulky.
I think the fighting type is, like, I would say that one's actually just straight up a blessing, because it gives you stab close combat, which is actually like kind of great with Staraptor. You lose the weakness to rock, which is like a fairly common type in VGC. Yes. I feel as if Staraptor kind of pulled an unfortunate stick, because these are all great things until you run into Mega Salamence, which has historically been one of the best Megas in the entire games in terms of like both utility and offense. And it also does the exact same thing has Intimidate, and is a flying type.
Yeah.
It can Mega Evolve into something else, like with an ability. Like, it is getting directly outclassed by this one guy that can do everything slightly better.
Yeah. With 110 speed, you need to like tailwind support probably against a lot of the threats, which therefore you're running like potentially two flying types on the field at the same time. If you're
exactly, like I would say, if you want Staraptor to be your tailwinder, that's just not happening, because you need another guy to do it.
Yeah, so I think again C tier.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. I had it in B, but your point about Mega Salamence, I think you're right. I think I'm dropping it down.
Sorry, Staraptor.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it surprising us, but we'll have to see.
Here's two. Fingers crossed.
Following that, they've got the Mega Raichus.
Here we fucking go.
Mega Raichu X having 60 HP, 135 attack, 95 defense, 90 special attack, 95 special defense, and 110 speed. It's very similar stats to the Staraptor, honestly, with the same speed, slightly less attack, and slightly less bulk.
How did they give it 100? I swear, where did the stats go? Because Raichu's already got 110 speed.
That is what I'm looking at.
It's probably
Where
all
did
gone
it
into
go?
attack.
I was like, what happened here?
It'll have gone into attack and bulk
Did this
because
mod get-
Raichu's squishy as hell.
I don't know. Do you reckon what's
like,
it? Is it got like a lightning rod looking vibe to it? What are we thinking ability wise?
I don't know. I was wondering about Lightning Rod. I don't think... I mean, Lightning Rod's less good in a
Motor
physical
drive.
attacker. Motor Drive would be sick. I'm curious. I'm not sure, honestly. Although people have been speculating about something in the game, specifically when Raichu X uses Volt Tackle, it gets a attack boost. So people are speculating the ability might have something to do with that.
Like a Moxie or something?
Yeah, or like very specifically an attack boost after using a electric move, or maybe specifically
some sort of self lightning rod.
Yeah,
I'm going to be devil's advocate and just say that Game Freak just give out troll dumb abilities like they've done in the past. I'm going to go Cute Charm.
Hell yeah. Give it Pixelate for no adequately explained reason.
Wait, I'm supposed to be breaking the game, aren't I? Sorry. Electric Surge. Done. There we go.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't mind that, frankly. Having another electric terrain setter in the game.
Then you could run that and Tapu Koko. Cooking.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, double terrain. It's the same one. It's with the same type. Like one earthquake won't send you to the O2 tables.
And then we've got Mega Waichu, which is the special counterpart with 60 HP.
I never thought to call it that. Mega Waichu.
I'm calling that I came up with it first and that I pioneered it before the community catches on. But,
I'll go Volt
You
Absorb.
might be a genius.
well, I mean, it's already got lightning rod, so that'll be a
I just base
strict
ability
downgrade.
is Bolt Absorb.
But
Yeah.
I lightning rod good on a special attacker. This one's got 160 special attack and 130 speed.
This one's got monstrous special attack for no. I would say this is like literally Tapu Koko on steroids.
Yeah,
like,
I reckon.
Not even like Regieleki. Regieleki is kind of like the middle ground. Like this offensive stat is just ridiculous. Like
Also, this is ridiculous. Remember when Jolteon was competitive? Like now look at what we've got.
oh my god. I think honestly, as much as I hate Raichu Y's design, I really don't like this guy's design. I would say this is just a pure stats winner. Like this guy has so much going for it. And I think Pure Electric is a weird type where I love a lot of Pokemon in that kind of thing, but a lot of the best electric types generally carry a secondary type simply because like electric can't hit everything, and having some way to hit ground is appreciated, or just like some dual stab in general gives you more variety and gives you a more gives you a larger purpose on a team. This asshole might just like click Volt Switch every single turn and then can come back in on like another turn and click Thunderbolt and just one shot you.
Yeah.
I can absolutely see that happening. I think like obviously it depends on what extra moves they decide to give it, because Raichu's biggest kind of issue is that it lacks any real coverage. The closest it gets is like probably Alluring Voice or Grass Knot on the special side.
Or Surf.
Because Surf is gonna stack your partner.
Yeah,
like
true.
that's it.
Yeah, I put that one in B tier personally.
Yeah, I think B's fair.
I think it'll be good on certain teams, especially with
that's
Lightning
fair.
Rod. I think in the like, a lot of people.
Oh my god! If you pick up if you pick up an electric attack before you Mega Evolve, God have mercy on you.
I hope Raging Bolt's
Murder.
still prevalent, just so that I can use this to tell her to get fucked. Moving swiftly along to Mega Lucario Z. In my notes, I've just put "Whoa, Mama." We are looking at
Just more furry bait, let's be honest.
yeah. But we're looking at 164
Oh my God.
special attack and 151 speed. That's what I was looking at. So it's just insane.
I will go on a limb and say this is the biggest winner of the DLC. I think one of the biggest winners of the entire game is just.
I disagree. I think this is definitely one of the strongest. I've got my pick for the strongest, and I haven't actually included Heatran in that, but I think that one actually might be the strongest. But
I I think I might know what the biggest winner is because I've also heard people saying making the rounds about a certain guy.
All right, well,
but I'll wait to hear.
My
get to it
thoughts
in a
on
sec,
this,
but yes.
Mega Lucario, is that if you think about it, it's two special attack stabs, probably Aura Sphere and Flash Cannon. They're both kind of weak.
No,
There's
if you're
no-
not a pussy, it's two stabs,
Focus Blast,
and Steel
Miss,
Beam.
and Steel Miss, or
Yeah.
Self-Death. My point is, none of us... None of
Catch
us-
me running
You
Focus Blast
can
and Steel Beam on
with
this prick.
thing.
None of us...
You can steel beam with this thing.
Okay. But my point is that none of its moves are boosted by weather or terrain or like any sort of environmental effects.
Skilly Spirit, get fucked.
Okay, sorry, yeah, Berserker, and yeah,
Berserker
the
is in the
slot.
game.
I mean,
That's good.
they could give it Steely Spirit as an ability.
That's true.
Who knows?
Oh Jesus,
Oh, why not? Just do
that would
it.
be terrifying.
Yeah, I think the moose thing is something to consider.
me-
That's the only reason I didn't put this as like the strongest. But like I said, don't be a pussy. Run Focus Blast. Run Steel Beam.
I think it should keep inner focus because it's just like it's actually quite handy. To
Well,
be used to.
that's the other thing as well. Unless they give it a new ability, its current abilities are pretty shit for special attackers.
Yeah, but like just
Like
being able to
immune to flinch
I
is
think I'll
kind
give it
of
something.
good, but like the immunity to intimidate, obviously.
The psychotic one that I'm pretty sure the Smogon guys gave it was Mind's Eye, which I actually unfortunately was like, oh shit, that makes too much sense.
It does
Oh,
like-
they would, wouldn't they?
All right, there you go. So your ghost.
was like, oh, damn it.
types. Yeah. What was it? Speed set again?
Exactly. I was
151. All the Z mons.
151. Yeah.
151.
Not bad. Fuck you, Calibrate
151.
Shadow Rider.
For some reason. Yeah, I would say this guy I would say historically Mega Lucario has been an okay Pokemon, like the base form, or the other guy, this normal Mega Lucario, I guess,
Yeah.
is the way we call him. Like it was good in 2014 and it was good in 2019 as like a Zern guy. Like good for redirection, good for just helping out on like Xerneas Lunala comps. This guy is kind of like that dialed up to 11. If this gets like Follow Me or some extra utility that the other Lucario got, I can see this guy being an incredibly like versatile multi-purpose mon. Like I would say just being able to 164 special attack is just like fucking ridiculous, and just being able to launch that off a fairly like versatile typing, like fighting and steel, especially if it does get something to hit ghosts, is just ridiculous. Like I would say, like I think just in terms of independent mega evolutions that don't require any other like kind of supplementary support, or like just like individually on their own, Mega Lucario Z is probably one of the biggest winners, simply because like these stats are too good not to be bad.
Oh,
That makes
yeah.
sense.
Are we thinking A plus or B plus or A?
I stuck it in fuck nutty bastard. I'm sick of-
Really? Like
yeah,
S tier?
Yep.
I reckon A at the most. It's so frail.
I think A because steel fighting still is fairly susceptible to a lot of things. It doesn't get like a solid defensive buff. It's gonna have to kill a lot of its checks before they can
That's
move.
true,
Because
yeah.
if they do move, it's probably dead.
It's also got no spread damage either.
Yeah, maybe A is fair enough.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Mega Crabominable. I've got high hopes for this guy.
I
I've
don't.
rated him
Ice
very
types,
highly.
but okay, yep.
I have heard many people say that like this guy's the biggest winner because these stats are like fucking ridiculous. And
So
also they
good.
gave it like mock punch for some reason in
Yes.
this DLC. Like they gave it crazy shit.
What's a
for no reason.
It's got like boxing gloves. I get the whole Mac punch thing. What is the stats, Mark?
Yeah, but like why?
Because they can. Why did they give
I think
Amoongus first
Loses
impression?
speed.
we have to assume that a lot of the moves in ZA will not be carrying over. However, I will hold out hope that Mega Crabominable will continue to get Mach Punch in Champions.
And I hope Roserade keeps getting model spin, so I've got a reason to use it. I love Roserade.
Oh my god!
I hope
saw
Model Spin
that
keeps
one.
boosting speed.
Yeah, that'd be sick too.
But yes, we've got 97 HP, 157 attack, 122 defense, 62 special attack, 107 special defense, and 33 speed. This is going to be an absolute Trick Room menace.
What's the attack stat again?
157 with Hammer Arm and Ice Hammer.
And it has an ability that means it makes it immune to intimidate pre-mega.
Yeah.
So take that how you will.
It does, or if you're like me and you got to do some dumb shit with Anger Point.
Yeah, I think
Anger Point.
Anger Point could be a good ability.
Anger point into Mach Punch 6 times.
Yes. Although I like to imagine that they'll just allow Mega Crabominal itself to be a Trick Room setter, much like Calyrex Ice. So you could side Frost Breast into it, get a attack boost, then set the Trick Room, and then just clean up.
Now watch Game Freak troll us and just give it fucking Slush Rush with 33 speed.
Don't you speak that into existence.
It's the sort of thing they do though.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
This guy's ridiculous.
Yeah. I think he's so strong.
I see this. Yeah, I see this guy being like Mawile, where Mawile has a lot of clear, defined strengths that make it very, very good. Yes. I do think like this bulk is a lot better. This bulk is a lot better than Mawile's.
So bulky. Especially when you're not investing in speed. You're just going 252 into your HP, and this is going to be a wall.
Max HP. Like, shit, you don't even need to go max attack. You probably just run like 36 Adamant or something. Really
true.
Like, and just run the rest in bulk. Like, this shit will not die.
Especially because it Drain Punch.
But, like, I do think the one caveat that is, like, you know, keeping me cautiously optimistic is that, like, Mawile already had a lot of problems, and it arguably had the best defensive typing in the entire game.
Yeah.
Like, Crab has fighting and ice, which is, like, shockingly not as good as Steel Fairy. So its biggest caveat is definitely its typing sucks defensively.
Yeah.
Offensively, it's still scary as shit. Like, that is an amazing offensive type to get stab on.
100%.
Yeah, I mean, like, the other thing is the opportunity cost. It's a mega. Like, would you rather just use Glastria, assuming you had like National Pokedex to choose from, and not take up the mega slot? Or like Calyrex Ice Rider or something. But I mean, yeah, I think it's good. Maybe A tier.
I think I'm not using Glastria until they give it decent coverage. Because at the moment, that's the reason I wouldn't use it. I'm also sticking this in A tier. I don't think it's quite at S tier. But I think it'll be a very, very oppressive Trick Room Pokemon.
It's a little menacing.
All right, moving on. Now, this one was actually my pick for the best. Mega Golisopod.
Okay.
I fucking love the design.
Oh,
the design is sick.
The Droideka battle droid.
Yeah, the Droideka.
They are getting through.
The number of times I'm just going to annoy people at locals, someone's going to send out Mega Golisopod, I'm going to like, Master, Destroyer droids. But we've got a... not quite respectable
stats.
75 HP, but it can be bolstered by...
It's tolerable.
EVs. Yeah, it's tolerable, especially when you look at its defensive stats. We'll get to that. 150 base attack, 175 base defense, 70 special attack, 120 base special defense, and 40 speed. And they're changing its typing to Bug Steel, which only has one weakness, which is... Fire. Obviously, it's 4 times weak, but still a very, very strong defensive typing. My first thought right off the bat is 150 base attack first impressions.
Gonna be huge.
Sounding pretty good.
It's a little nuts.
My second thought is, does it get a new ability? Because if they're getting rid of emergency exit...
Yeah, they're giving it Defiant. Have fun.
I think
I see it from a mile away.
Nah, the ability will be Battle Armor, so no crits. And it will, I think, a good set would be like max HP, max attack, AV, and just have like... That would live a fire attack.
Yeah, I reckon with 120 base special defense to be working with. And yeah, 40 speed, it's another really strong...
U-turn, first impression, steel stab, and coverage.
I had a friend at locals who was saying, I don't think Golisopod's going to be that good because it's going to lose its niche as like an Urshi wall with its new typing. I was like, homie, it's got 175 base defense. It's walling every physical attacker.
Yeah.
It's walling everything. I will say, I do like the stat distribution a lot. I do think losing... Water stab stings a little bit. Like having steel is just way too good. Like I would say, like the mon I am going to compare this to is just Scizor. Mega Scizor. I would say they're doing different things, but I do think like both of them can probably pull the Swords Dance and like just spam attacks button. Really, Scizor might be a little better just because it's spamming Bullet Punch more often than not, which is I would say it's spamming Bullet Punch and its bug access move is Bug Bite, which is pretty good for dismantling a lot of things. Golisopod's got to worry a little more about not only moving before it gets like fucking incinerated, But like the stats are really good. Physically, I think this will be an excellent mon, but it still has to deal with fire type being an incredibly common thing. And also it has to deal with kind of pre-mega dealing with that, if that makes any sense. Bug and Steel as an innate typing is a lot more comfortable to run, simply because you're not weak to, you're not susceptible to poison or toxic spikes or any of that garbage. Like, why? I would say you're eventually gonna have to. I would say Glycopod kind of basically has to get a free swap. It can't switch in, otherwise it's coming right back out. So like it has to manage itself a lot more than Scizor or whatever have to, or most megas in general. It has to basically lead off a game, which like I guess works with first impression. But like it has to basically lead off or get a free swap in, which one of those, I would say both of those are kind of lose-lose, because you either lead off into something like Intimidate before you actually get Defiant, because it's getting Defiant. It's probably getting Defiant. But like you're either leading off into something that will drop your attack stat, or I would say, but like thankfully I guess you can mega and then swap, but like either that or you're getting a free swap, which means something on your end like got knocked out, which means now Glycopod has to come in and like pick up like scrounge for scraps. So like it's, I would say, one of those two scenarios which isn't particularly favorable. And on top of it will only, I would say, compared to Scizor, its priority move is much stronger, but it's only going to work once, which means that it has to constantly pivot in and out or have good moves to kind of supplement it. I can see this being a good Pokemon. It's just going to require a lot of like things going on in order to kind of pivot it around the board constantly to get it where it needs to.
Yeah, I reckon. Also, a quick shout out to Chris, who suggested that the Mega Pokemon be holding Assault Vest.
Fuck. Look, I'm never pretending to be good at the game, okay?
That's fair.
I'm here for comic relief.
Just run it next to Tinglu. It's basically the same thing.
Exactly.
All right, moving on.
That actually might be a combo.
Oh, fuck, it will, won't it? We've got Mega Magina. We'll skip over that one because we're already short on time, and it's not going to be in VGC ever anyway, but I will shout out, it's got 170 base special attack. Fuck yeah.
We're going to skip over Mythicals.
It's the band from Uber.
yeah. Oh,
if you're going to skip over Mythicals, what about the fucking like Stranger Things style like demon spawn that is Mega Darkrai?
Oh yeah, that was
Jesus.
That was a weirdly easy fight, but maybe that's just because I had Heracross to kick the fuck out of him.
No, that fight was piss easy.
Yeah, I like coming off the Heatran fight, I was expecting like an actual challenge, and then I one tapped it. As in, like, did it in one try.
I don't know if Heatran was tough for y'all. It just stood there for me. Like, I just sat there with Fralligator and clicked Swords Dance. I was like, oh, okay, that's it. Like,
okay. No, I struggled with the Heatran one, but
I was like, all right, cool.
I probably could have grinded up to get some better donuts, and then it wouldn't have been an issue. But I think I was a bit underleveled.
Is Mega Heatran on your list?
That
will be playable. And I think its design's I think it's improved on the original Heatran design.
I think its design is stick in like a body horror kind of way. That dude was terrifying. That would have scared like an 8-year-old me.
Yeah, so it's like a walking like oven thing. It's creepy as a little like steam vent at the back.
It is disturbing. Yeah.
No, that's true. I don't have the stats written down, but we have seen.
You do the rest.
I'll go through the rest of the
stats. Its stats are very good.
Yeah, I do remember that. We've got Chimecho next. I said basically exactly what I said when they initially revealed that it was getting a Mega, which is it's got fuck all stats to work with. 100, an extra 100 BST isn't doing a whole heap. And I'm going to be honest, they've done really well with what they've had available.
Yeah, it's not bad.
It's like 110 defense, 135 special attack, 120 special defense. I think if this gets a good ability, we're actually looking at a decent Pokemon here. But it's really going to depend on what ability they give it, because like that alone is not good enough to be a stat stick.
Here's a theory I've heard of. You know how like there's like the Wind Power, Wind Rider abilities in Gen 9? Yeah. It's like a sound version of that, where if it's hit by a sound move, it gets like a huge buff in some way.
That would be sick. Like sound move and like soundproof, but like you get a +1 special attack.
Yeah.
That's sick. I
so
like that.
You could put next to like a Boom Burster or some sort of
like
other.
or something.
There's probably tons of sound moves I've forgotten about, but like,
I kind of dig that.
There are a lot of sound moves in the game, like soundproof Camo. I saw a lot of decent play.
Parting shot,
true.
Yeah, you can switch into an Incineroar parting shot.
I think is Taunt a sound based move?
It will be.
Yeah, I think so.
No,
it's not.
No,
it might.
It goes through sub.
It goes through substitute.
Yeah.
I would say this is just Wolf Glick's like greatest dream ever. He gets to play Perish Trap, and now the Chimecho is immune to it.
Yeah, you just sit it next to your Perish. I was thinking that as well.
Just walls.
Alluring Voice, Boom Burst, Bug Buzz, Chatter, Clanging Scales, Clanging Soul, Confide, Disarming Voice. Echoed voice, eerie spell, grass whistle, growl, heal bell, blah blah blah. Hyper voice, but you can't self-target that. There's punish shot, perish song,
It blocks parting shot. Yeah.
torch song, uproar, snore, snarl. I guess like the snarl.
The snarl immunity is also really good.
Kind of nice.
That is pretty nice.
You could side roar.
I don't know
be
why.
immune to it.
But yeah.
Oh my god.
Give yourself that boost with that -1 priority
I
move.
roar to be immune.
Yeah, so I put Mega Chimecho in
D.
if it gets good support, because like I think there is support they could give this Pokemon to be really good, but until that point, it's not looking great. Moving right along to Mega Scovillain.
Don't come for my boy. Although it's clearly getting chlorophyll. We can say right now it's getting chlorophyll.
Even if it does, it'll still suck.
It already got chlorophyll.
Yeah, no, but like you can see that they haven't the speed stat's still 75. I reckon it goes chlorophyll.
I think it's going to keep chlorophyll. But with 65 HP, 138 in both its offenses, 85 in both its defenses, and then 75 speed.
Where do the stats go? Fucking hell.
They divvied it up between attack and special attack because they're just like, oh, we want, like, I get the vision, right? Like
I don't.
It's got two heads, and like it's very much split between a physical attacker and a special attacker. I've liked the idea that someone's previously floated there should be different versions of Scovillain with like different colored heads, whereas like 2 green heads is a higher base attack and 2 red heads is a higher special attack or something like that. But they're not doing that. They're just giving us a shit mega with bad stats.
I think if they gave it a signature attack where, I don't know, it had some really cool attack where it picked one of its 2 stats to work on depending which one was higher, so like that where you could run. I don't know how it would work, but yeah, I don't know. It's C tier. It's still a chlorophyll.
C tier? No, it's dog shit.
We don't know.
It's so bad.
It could get a signature signature move where it like a guaranteed burn or something. Like it could.
I do think it'd be cool for them to give it like a grass type move with a guaranteed burn, like a
yeah.
scalding chili or something like that. I don't know, cool. But yeah, no, it's garbage. It sucks.
Give it spore, you cowards.
Looks like some sort of spicy extract.
Yeah. Shout out to Michael Zhang and his spicy extract Koraidon team.
Oh my god, I remember that.
That's so sick. All right. The 2 more that I've got on my list, we've got Mega Baxcalibur with a fucking nutty attack stat. 115 HP, Jesus. 175 attack, 117 defense, 105 special attack, 101 special defense, and 87 speed.
So I
hate that it's keeping the same speed. I hate that it's still got 87 speed. Every other part of it is so strong.
I don't even care. Excuse my language. This is what Baxcalibur was meant to be. I fucking hated that loaded dice scale shot crap that people tried to push so hard for so long.
I would never.
This is not what we intended this mon to be. He was going to click Glaive Rush and cut his defense in half and die instantly afterwards.
Yes.
We click Dragon Dance, we click Glaive Rush. That is what this guy is meant to do. That is why his speed is 87 and everything else is jacked up to like high hell. Like I would say, this guy's a menace, and I want him to be a menace.
And then
I fuck with that. I think
next time you just click Ice Shard.
Go for the Ice Shard. Yeah, exactly. No, I'm aboard with that.
You can just run 3 attacks. Like you can just run Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, and Glaive Rush, and it's just gonna murder everything. Yeah. That's what I want.
Apart
That's
from
what
steel
I want.
Types, but yeah.
Nah, fuck them.
I think someone will abuse this. I reckon this for me is the closest one on this list so far to S tier. I honestly think this is going to, because Baxcalibur is already a decent Pokemon. It's got a good HP stat. Yeah. Like this is like, for me, this is the same sort of vibe as like Mega T-Tar. I know it doesn't set weather. I'm fully aware of that. Yeah. But like it's a good, decent Pokemon before the Mega Evolution.
Yeah.
It's just bulky as fuck. You can give it Snow Boost.
If it keeps Thermal Exchange as well, that's a very strong ability.
That's still, Immune Burn is fantastic.
The Lava Plume's going to be insane with this guy. +1 on a base 175.
I'm going to go A+.
I
agree.
Teetering between A and S. I'm thinking A. I think the speed set is holding it back slightly. But yeah, big Glaive Rushes. It's going to be fun as hell. Regardless of how good it is, it's going to be fun as hell.
What if they give it Slush Rush?
Like I just think that this guy will find itself slapped onto a lot of teams, and it will just work simply because the stats are there.
Yeah,
and
nice.
I think like if the teams worked with Baxcalibur to begin with, like standalone, it will just work with Mega Baxcalibur.
And then finally on my list, we've got Mega Glamora. And I haven't checked, but I think they've just slapped 20 in every stat. Like attack 90, defense 105, special attack 150, special defense 96, and then speed 101.
150, did you say, for special attack?
Yeah. Because I'm pretty sure it's got base 130 special attack and base 81 speed.
It's so awkward.
So those are both gone up by 20.
It's so awkward not being able to run Focus Sash on this.
Oh, and I think it sucks purely because it can't run an item.
Yeah.
Meteor Beam or Focus Sash. It can't run either of those. 150 base special attack and 101 speed is not nearly enough to make up for that. So I think this thing is
needing Tailwind support.
Yeah, I'm putting this one in D.
I just checked the stats. It's a base 15 buff to defense, SPDEF, and speed. A baffling 35 attack to, or was it 35 attack and then 20 special attack.
Of course, they put 35 in its attack.
A Mortal Spin will do more damage.
Yeah, they put 35 in its attack. Yeah, exactly. That Mortal Spin. I like the Pokemon. I like what it's technically going for, but I do agree that it doesn't fix any of the issues Glamora has. And if anything, it kind of makes it worse because you're burning the Mega slot on this. There are better Megas that just kind of do more, especially 101 speed is just not good on a Mega, especially if you're not playing the Trick Room. This is middle of the road. That does not accomplish a lot. And it doesn't have some form of speed control that it can sustain itself on, like Trick Room, that something like Gardevoir can.
I actually think I'm going to change I'm going F tier. I think this is dreadful because it's looking like the stats are fine, whatever, but the more you think about it, it's wasting a Mega slot. It's wasting an item that you would much rather be holding a Power Herb or a Focus Sash.
Yeah.
It's just there's so many reasons that you very specifically wouldn't run Mega Glamora that I think this will never see play.
To salvage it, I'm saying give it an ability called Power Core, and it has 2-turn moves go off in one move, so it gets Meteor Beam without the Power Herb. It could just use Meteor Beam. Do that.
That would be sick and genuinely still not strong enough in my opinion.
Still be C tier, but Power Core, make it happen, Game Freak. And before you finish, I found the Heatran stats.
Yes, hit us.
It has got 91 HP, 120 attack, 106 defense, 175 special attack, 141 special defense, 67 speed.
Yeah, this one is, I think, maybe overtaking Mega Golisopod for best Mega.
I think Heatran's the biggest winner of the entire deal.
Yeah, I reckon.
Because people will use this, and it has no snags compared to, I would say, Golisopod has a lot that you got to line up. Heatran, you just click the Mega button, and now you have a better Heatran.
Click a Mega button, you're probably eating an Earth Power without SPDEF.
And then can they also please give it an ability that increases the accuracy of Magma Storm? So just give it I don't know, Compound Eyes, but a fire.
Fuck it, give it No Guard.
No Guard. Yes.
what I think's funny. There's a theory that I myself have come up with. So I don't know if this is bollocks, but the dialogue just before you verse Mega Heatran is they kind of mentioned that very specifically the Mega form burns anything it touches or something along those lines.
Flame body.
No. Then I also found that my Pokemon were getting burned consistently in the fight. Whenever it got hit with that fire move, it was just a guaranteed burn. So I do wonder if they're going to do something with the ability that increases burn chance off fire moves or something like that.
Cooking. I think A, because I still think it's...
What?
No, I still think Heatran's great and all, but you still got a quad weakness to water, quad weakness to ground.
You don't have a quad weakness to water. What are you talking about?
I'm just cooking in my mind. I have no idea what I'm talking about. No, I'm just saying it's got a lot of common weaknesses, and it's still a really good Pokemon, but Heatran now is not meta breaking. I don't think just slapping an extra fucking 30 special attack and whatever else bulk it's got is going to break it. I don't think it's S. I think it's A+. There'll be teams built around it.
I think there will be as many Mega Heatran teams as there will be normal Heatran teams, because Heatran is already a fantastic Pokemon at what it does. But even on some I would argue balance comps or something like Chalk, those are fundamentally built around a Mega Kangaskhan. And I would say other Megas that are much more designated and specific at their jobs once they Mega evolve, whereas Heatran can kind of do the same thing before and after. Granted, I think this is this is still a fantastic Pokemon, and it will likely see a lot of play regardless, just because it is so good. The stats are too good. And if it gets something I would say, the first thing that came to mind was Drought. They're just going to give it Drought because they're lazy.
A lot of people have been saying that. I say give it Earth Eater.
That is horrifying.
Earth Eater?
Earth Eater would be so funny.
Make this shit evil.
I think like I don't know what like it has got 120 attack stat, right, and 67 speed. I'm wondering like if it's got some like flame touch ability where it burns everything it touches. You could just give it like flame charge.
Oh, that's
give it flame charge, boost its speed, burn something, and then just pop off turn 2. With,
That is very funny.
I don't know what 67 max investment +1 outspeeds. Someone smarter than me can calculate. MDB would probably figure that out in 2 seconds, but I am not him. But yeah, it'd be funny.
So yeah, I think that's all our megas. At least there's a few more, but I don't believe we've got the stats for them.
I can't wait to cook all the new megas and champions. It's gonna be so much fun.
Yes, I'm definitely keen to be experimenting. I think some of these might not be the most, the strongest in the meta, but they'll be a lot of fun to cook with. So that's basically it. We should probably wrap things up.
Joel, wake up.
Yeah, poor Joel is going to have to cut this into 2 episodes probably, which is fine because we're about to go into a content
No, this is a lot
break
of
anyway.
I'm so sorry.
No, it's all good. Like we're more than happy to have some extra content because we're about to take a 2-week break for Christmas, so we'll just release that during the content void.
Nice.
So it works perfectly.
Can we quickly shout out the Australian World Cup team?
I was just about to say that. We've kind of been a bit remiss as a podcast, given that we kind of market ourselves as the Australian podcast. We've barely talked about Team Australia and their run in the World Cup.
We've just really made them earn it.
Yeah. Exactly. But they've done incredibly well. They've just beat Japan in the semi-finals, so they're advancing through to the finals.
I think the first time we've made it out of the top 16 bracket. Is that right?
Possibly,
Something like that. We
yeah.
lost to Italy a couple of times in the. Yeah, shout outs to Lewis Tan, Oliver Ramsey, Kieran Singh, Dimitri Kosiaris, all the friends of the show, Henry Rich, Yoav Reuven, I want to say, Nicholas Khan. Did I miss anybody?
There might be
was
some
that 7?
reserves, but
And the reserves.
Yeah,
also,
and the
fuck you,
Rezzies.
Nick Khan, you lost against Japan.
Jesus.
But the rest of you, good job.
Bro,
3 of them lost against
Come on,
Japan. It
boy,
was
Nick.
4-3, but
It's an O2 drop law that I hate
4-3.
Nick Khan. You have to catch up.
Chris has vendettas against
everyone.
young people.
Everyone.
Yeah, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know how the World Cup works, I'll just quickly mention it's a tournament that's run by Victory Road. Each country is kind of designated a coach who selects a team. In our case, friend of the show, hopefully soon to be part of the show, Kieran Singh. We're just finishing up the paperwork in talks with his agent. But friend of the show, Kieran Singh is our coach or captain or whatever. He's team leader, right? And he's put together one absolutely remarkable group of individuals. And essentially, it's formatted, I believe, similar to like the FIFA Soccer World Cup, where they've got like groups
pool play
early on.
and
So you get put into a group with a certain number of other countries, and the winner of each group then advances through to like the playoffs. And Australia's just been kicking ass and taking names. And they just took out Japan. Advancing through to the final. Do we know who they're up against yet?
Espanol, I think.
Spain. That'll be a tough one, but a really good watch.
Yeah, we're going to make them Spain without the S.
So who would that be? Who would be on that team? Would be like Alex Gomez and Eric Rios.
Yeah. There's a lot of
Victor
good Spanish
Medina,
players.
I think, is Spanish.
Yeah, Medina.
a lot of great talent.
Fucking hell.
It's going to be a good final.
It will. Hopefully, if Australia wins, the rest of the world might realize that we're actually pretty good at VGC over here.
Give us OCIC
maybe give us
back.
OCIC back, yeah.
And more regionals.
And more regionals would be nice.
I'll take an SPE.
We've been complaining about it a lot, James, because so Australia's, you might be aware, a very big country. It's roughly the same like land size as the US, right? Like
Damn.
yeah, like from one side to the other is it's very similar. We had 1 regional on the West Coast and 2 regionals on the East Coast. They just took our West Coast regionals away, and they now have 3 regionals over on the East Coast.
Oh.
So we have to do a shitload of flying.
Yeah.
Expensive flying.
Damn.
Yeah.
But the things we do for the love of a children's game.
But that's all right. If we win the World Cup, maybe
Exactly.
TPCI will be like, they can have a 4th regionals. Give them Perth back. That's an insane amount of copium,
treat.
but we can dream.
Yeah, I'm sure Australia winning the World Cup against Spain, they'll definitely be like, yeah, they deserve it. They as a region,
Someone will notice it.
Surely.
Notice us, Senpai.
they're like, wow, they're the world's best podcast in Australia. Now they're the world's best competitive team as well.
They're doing great at casting the regionals as well. Just, yeah.
Yeah,
MDB even said so.
James Evans wrote TPCI a letter saying how great Australia was.
Yeah.
And that,
Exactly.
from a world's finalist, that's a big deal.
You can even see my name scribbled in crayon at the very end. That's what
Yeah. Well, you are only a child,
you'll definitely
22.
get. Oh my god.
I have the very last guest submitted question that there's a couple more I'm ignoring, but this one I'm definitely going to ask you because it's saving the best for last. Warning, this is a very interesting question.
Oh God, I think I know where this is going.
Who would you rather, Lopunny or Judy Hopps from Zootopia?
You don't have to answer, James. You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
I'm not into that, bro.
Okay, all right, no. Pleading the fifth.
I guess I can state, basically, I say whoever submitted that, you have a very creative mind and don't let anyone ever tell you otherwise.
Yeah, the question was submitted by Chris.
It was not submitted by me. I wouldn't even pose this question because I'm always Team Lopunny. It's a stupid question.
Yeah.
No, I'm taking sentience any day. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, do we want to wrap it up? I think we've been going for 2 hours, 40 minutes?
2 hours, 40 minutes. And this man that we're talking to has got to get ready for work.
He's got to go to work, yeah. And we've got to go to bed.
He has a job, Chris.
As if. I'm the only Pokemon player in the world that has a job. That's why I don't get enough CP.
You and Marcus Dion.
Yeah.
Me and Marcus Dion are the only two players in the world with a job.
I would say it's an adult friendly show, but we still got a censored job, bro.
Sorry, gang. Trigger warning. Pokemon player listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What is your job that you're going to at 12 o'clock? If you don't mind doxing that.
What is it? I do like graphic design work for like a co-op that I do for school. Like I go to college for game design.
That's awesome.
What is it? I was like, right now I'm in the midst of my co-op. Unfortunately, I'm not doing like too much game design. It's more like graphic design, art stuff, which I still like doing a lot. So I can't complain.
Yeah. So as I was saying, myself and Marcus Dion are the only people with jobs. I stand by that.
Jesus Christ, Chris. Well, amazing.
I buy it.
No, I should be actually nice to you. Once you've solved Reg F, please slide into my DMs and send me a team. That'd be really good.
Yeah, I'll send the team over.
Please.
It's fine. I take Venmo.
Do you have like a team building group, or are you like a lone wolf? Is it just you and Joe? I would say I rarely ever build with Joe. Actually, I would say every once in a while we'll like just come together on an idea and just like fuck around with it. But like literally, I would say 90% of the time I build stuff on my own and then help out my friends, or I'll send it to either my friend Matthias who like does play the game, or I'll send it to, I shit you not, one of my friends who doesn't even play the game anymore, and he'll just be like, "Yeah, it looks good to me." And I'll just keep playing. I'll just play it. Right, I just let him in the know, and then and then I run it. Shouts to my boy Kareem.
Look, if you ever need a team tested at a 9-person local,
hit us up.
We'll let you know.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'm down.
And you know, before I bring my Reg F team to Sydney regionals in February, I'll slide into your DMs and be like, "What do you think?" Rate it out of 10.
Yeah, it looks good, man.
You two will be messaging each other at like 3:30 a.m. Just like, hey man, what do you think about Slurpuff?
Getting a phone call.
He'll be sliding into my DMs later tonight, being like, "Yeah, I was Judy Hopps. Just so you know, I just didn't want to answer on air."
Well, frankly, I'm shocked that we didn't include Lola Bunny from Space Jam. Like,
well, that's the obvious answer.
Yeah, look,
but that is basically every time that question has come up on the podcast, because I hate to say it, this is not the first time we've mentioned this.
Because I'm not. That's not my thing. But I was kind of shy. I was like, oh, we just didn't even mention like the whole crew. Like,
Well, that has been other people's. Like Dan, if he was here, the panelist, he would have said Lola Bunny.
That's what I say. It's like every time this question gets brought up in this podcast, someone's always like, secret third option, Lola Bunny.
How many times does it get brought up?
Too many.
Oh god, you should subscribe and listen to our
this is not like the first time.
Probably 3 times in the last 3 weeks.
Oh god.
Someone thought it would be funny to ask it once, and now all our subscribers just like keep pestering us about it.
Yeah.
Whatever the next player is on is hopefully they're ready for 4th time in a row.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, James. We've had a lot of fun.
Thank you guys for having me.
We could go on forever.
It's been a great time here.
But I'm an old man and I'm dying in my rocking chair right now because it's just gone midnight for us. And
it's all good.
Y'all got a job to do. So yeah, thank you so much for joining us. We've appreciated your time and your stories and your banter. Being so very giving.
I appreciate you guys having me on again.
If our listeners want to follow you, where can they do that?
You can follow me on Twitter at the King Villager. It's pretty much the only place that I post. Like anything. It's 90% of the time just like shit posting or like playing other video games that are not Pokemon. But I do tweet about VGC occasionally. I would say it's just the King Villager. It's just the username that I use everywhere. Make of that what you will. But like, I would say, yeah, if you ever want to just see someone's thoughts on like playing the actual games or playing any game in general, that is where I tweet and keep people updated with my life.
Very nice. And to our listeners, if you want to, you have an option to support this podcast via means of subscription. If you go to the02drop.com, it'll redirect you to our Buzzsprout page, where for as little as $3 American per month, you can support the ongoing costs of this podcast, gain access to our Discord, gain access to our bonus content, which we record every week. There's probably 120 hours of additional content there, very loosely related to Pokemon. In our Discord, we do Limitless tours. We play Mafia, where we learn to hate each other with a lot of respect. We have good banter, some excellent R-rated memes, and yeah.
And you get to ask unhinged questions to the guests.
That you do.
It's true.
That you do.
We've had worse questions in this low
Yeah,
one.
spare the next people after me, please. Be kind to them.
We usually go through with a pair of censorship scissors and snip the worst questions. Like, some of our subscribers are animals.
Yeah, and then Chris gets a hold of the phone and asks them anyway.
Chris gets the list and he's
I have
which
zero,
rabbit would you fuck?
I have zero shame. Like, what the hell? We are an adults only podcast. And it's fucking.
There's a difference between adults only and made for adults.
If I didn't have work tomorrow and like we weren't talking to someone in America, I'd be doing like drinking games if I could.
100%.
I'm really glad that I'm not like trying to, get selected as an official VGC caster, because this could potentially be really bad for my
Here we go.
really bad for my reputation. Thank God that's not the case.
Thank you again so much, James. Thank you to our listeners. Merry Christmas, happy holidays to everyone listening.
Happy holidays.
We're taking a 2-week break. We hope you all are safe, you are loved, you have good times with your families. Stay away from the crazy uncles. Eat good food. Be jolly. Be merry. We'll see everyone.
Don't eat food on days of regionals because you'll do bad.
Yep.
Because James Evans said so.
Or flip a coin. Eat eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of other players say they eat eggs. But I tried eggs at Brisbane and went 4-4. So, I mean, clearly no eating is the way to go.
Apparently.
And no sleep.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you in 2026.